tonight at both ends. A must-win night then. Who leaves Bloomfield Road with all 3 points, effectively ending the other side season? Will Blackpool take their survival fight to final day, or will Millwall jump back inside the top 6 tonight in the second tier? Let's find out. It's time for kick-off here in your home, the EFL Talksport 2, up at Bloomfield Road with our country team, the Sheffield United women's striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. She's alongside Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Dan. Great atmosphere here tonight. It is, in effect, knockout football for Blackpool. They need to get a victory to keep their season alive. The fans have been whipped up away to our right-hand side. Their support is there, and it will be there should the worst happen and Blackpool be relegated. For Millwall, it will be disappointing for them to miss out on the top 6, given the successful season they've had so far, but they've hit a bad patch of form at just the wrong time. Can they dig themselves out? It's so tight at the top. 6 sides from 5th to 10th separated by just 3 points. Add in the fact that Norwich and Swansea are both within 3 points of the playoffs. It is going to be an amazing end at both ends of the championship table. The teams coming out over on the far side here. It's been a lovely afternoon in the northwest of England. The sun has been shining. There's a chill in the air. The conditions perfect for what should be an entertaining game for the neutral. For those who've got a little bit more emotional investment in it, it could be a torrid evening. Both sides make 3 changes from their last outing. Stephen Dubby leaves out Thornley, Mola and Carey as Husband, Anderson and Yates come back in. Grimshaw in goal, Gabriel Nelson, Husband and Lyons at the back, Fiorini and Patino in the middle, Anderson, Rogers and CJ Hamilton behind Jerry Yates, who leads the line. 3 changes as well for Millwall. McNamara, Burke and Malone drop out. Shackleton, Leonard and Watmore come in. It's Long in goal, Shackleton, Hutchinson, Cooper and Leonard the back 4, Saville and Mitchell holding, Watmore, Fleming and Styles behind a Welsh international, Tom Bradshaw. It's the tangerine and white of Blackpool, it's the blue and white of Millwall. You can feel the atmosphere, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. It is electric, isn't it, in this stadium? Yeah,
there's a fantastic noise around Bloomfield Road at the moment, and especially these Blackpool fans there. I can hear the Millwall fans to our left, but the Blackpool fans are really trying to get behind their side, doing everything they can, trying to push them, and hoping that they get 3 points tonight and try and stay in the championship.
It is, as Dan was saying, so many big games to come, live and exclusive across the Talksport network. This is the first of what is going to be an eventful end to the championship season, but for Blackpool, they've got to win and hope that they can take it down to the last weekend, and with their rivals above them playing each other, if they do win tonight, they would go to Norwich next week with a genuine chance of survival. For Millwall, they take on playoff chasing Blackburn next week, so big games ahead. The big thing is making sure that next week is a big game by getting the points tonight.
Yeah, they want to go into that game having a little bit of hope. The last thing they want, tonight is to lose and to go into that game with nothing to play for and think about what could have been.
Listen to that noise away to our right. They are a noisy bunch anyway, the Blackpool fans, but the players can't ask for any more than that.
No, absolutely fantastic. The noise in the stadium is just what any footballer wants when it's important, and the 12th man, it can be a bit of a cliche, but these Blackpool fans already doing their part.
The Millwall players just having a bit of a last team talk for them. They've not been in great form. They arrive here with just 1 win in their last 7, 1 win in their last 5 away from home. They've just hit a bump in the road at the wrong time, and looking at where they've finished since their return back to the championship, 8th, 21st, 8th, 11th and 9th. They're always there or thereabouts, but never in.
Yeah, and as you say, that the last few, the 8th, 11th and 9th, it's been consistency, but maybe a consistency they don't want in terms of trying to push for that playoff. So, these Millwall fans up to our left now are hoping that this is the year that they push into those playoff places.
Well, we are about to get underway. Matthew Donaghy blows his whistle, and that's not what we want to hear. The Millwall fans booing the Blackpool players taking a knee. That is not what we want. Football for everyone, and we're all set for action. Millwall in their dark blue shirts, dark blue socks and white shorts are going from left to right. The tangerine and white of Blackpool. We are underway at Bloomfield Road. The ball straight back to George Long. And Long, all in green, gets the ball away. And Millwall have just put themselves under pressure there with that back pass early on. But Long eases it away to Sean Hutchinson. He's charged down here. And an early chance for Blackpool into the area. And Hutchinson, in the end, has to put it behind for a corner. Well, Millwall there were caught all at 6s and 7s. They tried to play out from the back. And it almost went disastrously wrong. Keshi Anderson pouncing on it, early corner for Blackpool.
Yeah, he does really well, and it starts as a right touch from Styles, and then that almost just sets the tone a little bit on the left. Then when it goes back to Hutchinson, he doesn't quite know what he wants to do with it, but Keshi Anderson, he did really well to start the press there.
This will be a dream start for the Tangerines. Corner played short onto this near side, level with the edge of the box. Cross goes in, it's headed away 6 yards out. Millwall defend it pretty well in the end. Husband with a head bandage puts the ball high into the Millwall area, and it's headed away. And CJ Hamilton's just going to let it run out over on the far side for a throw in. Well, an early sign, maybe a nurse from Millwall here.
Yeah, maybe. And we were saying before the game we weren't quite sure how this game would start, but Blackpool already in these early stages, they're on the front foot, they're being aggressive, they're the ones that really want to take action in this game so far.
Yeah, a few tackles flying in early on as Millwall play the ball forward. It's headed away by Curtis Nelson, the Blackpool captain tonight. Ball played forwards, a bit of head tennis ensuing at the moment. Someone needs to get the ball down and play. Blackpool will do that, but Shackleton was first to it on the halfway line and does well. Now Millwall can break down their right-hand side. Here now is Zian Fleming, just eases it down the right-hand side of the penalty area. Lovely pass here into the path of Leonard. Can he put a cross in? He can, and it's turned in. And Millwall have the first goal. And it's Tom Bradshaw who's tucked it in. A great finish, a clinical finish from 12 yards out. Great play down the right-hand side. And Millwall lead. It's Blackpool 0, Millwall 1.
It's a fantastic work by Millwall down this right-hand side. What I really like is the underlapping run by Ryan Leonard inside the box. The run is fantastic. The pass to him is weighted really well. Then he drives it across, and we're saying before the game with Bradshaw, when you've got him in your side, you've got a chance, and it's probably his first touch of the ball, I would imagine. And it flies across this ball to him. He's got all the pace on it, and he just so well just to side foot it in, direct it into the bottom left-hand corner of the goal, and it's a really electric start to this game, Mark.
It is indeed. Blackpool, who started so well, that was a lovely move, and it's a great finish. You'd have been proud of that one, Courtney.
Yeah, it was a great finish, and I liked it because he used the pace on the ball. How many times you see forwards try and strike through that and it fire over the crossbar, but he just uses the pace on it, directs it into the goal. It's a fantastic finish.
Well, Millwall not a scorer of a lot of goals in the Championship, as we pointed out earlier on, so the fact that they've nosed in front earlier on gives them something to hang on to. For Blackpool, it makes the equation just as simple. They've got to come out and win the game, but Millwall are flooding forward down their left-hand side. Nice driving run there, but eventually the tackle comes in and the roar goes around the home sections that Blackpool need to respond here. A goal inside the opening couple of minutes for Millwall, and it was a lovely finish as well. And now a free kick over on the far side. Well, that's really has set off the Millwall fans to our left-hand side. Dream start for Gary Rowett's side.
Yeah, it is. They're absolutely loving it, and for the players on the pitch as well, it'll just give them so much confidence now. They'll be able to settle into the game, try and get a foot on the ball, and play football. And for Blackpool, it's very difficult now because you want to try and get back into the game early, but then you don't want to open up more spaces. You don't want to go 2-0 down within quick succession. So how Blackpool manage the game the next 5 or 10 minutes is crucial.
4 gone, Blackpool 0, Millwall 1. As it stands, Blackpool's short stay in the Championship could be coming to an end, and Millwall are leaping back into the top 6, and it really would crank up the pressure on those around them. There's a ball headed forward by Patino. It's going to be headed back by Jake Cooper, back to his goalkeeper George Long, who has it on the edge of his technical area. Well, I don't know what Stephen Nobby would have said pre-game, but going behind so early really blows his team talk out of the water, doesn't it? Yeah,
it does. I think that's what you always say in the first 5-10 minutes, and the 5 or 10 minutes around both halves, just before half time and just after, and And obviously the final minutes as well. That's where you know your manager's always saying to you, keep concentrated, keep controlled in those big moments. Make sure that you don't concede, and say to concede so early in this game, the game plan then completely goes out of the window.
Yeah, it does here. Blackpool trying to work it forward. Jerry Yates. Cooper slides the ball forward. On the turn, Millwall bring it forward. Strong challenge goes in. Ball works its way out to Shackleton, the Leeds United loanee. Leonard will play it over the top, but too much on that one. We mentioned what a busy schedule we've got of live football. Of course, tomorrow Game Day Live is back. Talksport exclusive. Crystal Palace against West Ham from 12:30. Adrian Durham will be with you for goals as they go in at 2:30 on Talksport. And what about this for a live game at 5:30? West Brom Norwich. It's almost a playoff to get in the playoffs, isn't it? Because someone's season will be over tomorrow. As Millwall actually have got a corner. There was a touch on that ball over the top. So Millwall have a corner. 6 gone. They lead by a goal to 0. There are 2 blue shirts in the box. The rest of them are all about 20 yards away from goal. They're going to launch a late assault on the penalty area. Ball floated towards the back post. It slides off the head of Hutchinson, who will leave it, and the ball bounces off one of his teammates and goes out for a throw-in over on the far side. I think it was Callum Stiles who was trying to charge it down. We were looking at the fixtures earlier on in the Championship. There are so many games that have such a bearing at the top and at the bottom. That's going to be a pressure game tomorrow, isn't it? Live on Talksport 2 from 5:30. West Brom Norwich. Loser is out. Yeah,
it's humongous, isn't it? And again, I think that, you know, the job that Corberan's done for West Brom, he has to be applauded for. You know, if they make into the playoffs, it'll be a real big achievement.
Ball out of play far side, but it's a free kick for Blackpool. Jerry Yates was fouled as he tried to hold the ball up. 7 gone here. Mark Wilson with the Sheffield United women's striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. And we've seen Tom Bradshaw put Millwall in front here early on as the ball played forward by Dan Grimshaw in a luminous green goalkeeping strip. Hamilton did well to keep it in, but Leonard will clear the ball away, and it's going to be headed out of play on this near side by the head bandaged James Husband. Zian Fleming, who's had a great first season for Millwall, plenty of goals for him from midfield, and he leaves it for Shackleton, who will take the throw in. They look quite calm at the moment, Millwall. Blackpool not really got into the game, have they, despite that bright start 30 seconds in?
No, and maybe that bright start almost got them a little bit overexcited. They maybe, you know, forgot about their game plan a little bit, disjointed, ran away with themselves a little bit. And, you know, Millwall, it's a great move down this right-hand side, and they score with their first attack.
Yeah, Coutinho brings down Fleming, and that will be a free kick right on the halfway line that Millwall are in no real rush to take. Now, without some key players at the moment, Millwall, the likes of Charlie Cresswell, the Leeds loanee, Murray Wallace and George Honeyman all out at the moment. But they'll be looking to fight their way back into the top 6, and they're in great position here, live on Talksport 2 tonight, your home of the EFL. And Blackpool have got work to do, but they've got some defending to do here. Millwall float the ball to the edge of the penalty area. Nelson got up high, ball bouncing around edge of the area though. Trying to bulldoze his way through was Watmore, and then a little bit overzealous from Fleming, who bundles over Hamilton for a free kick on the edge of the Blackpool area.
Yeah, a bit needless really. You see what he's trying to do with the counter press and not let Blackpool out. It's the right idea, but right in front of the assistant ref there. As soon as you get 2 hands on the back, you're going to give a free kick away.
Grimshaw will knock it diagonally across the field. No flick on from Blackpool, but they will get a throw in over on that far side, where Jordan Gabriel will look to take the throw in 15 yards over the halfway line. Blackpool's right hand side, long throw gets them down the edge of the area. Can they engineer a cross? No, the ball just ran out of play, just allowed it to bounce too far, and Millwall have got themselves a goal kick. Dream start then for the Lions here. They lead by a goal to 0, and as it stands they'll go 5th in the table. And Gary Wright will be delighted with the way that his side has set about this match.
Yeah, and by doing that as well, you say talk about going 5th, it puts the impetus on everyone else tomorrow, which is massive, that psychological advantage. And just watching them now, they're so calm and composed. That goal has really done wonders for them. And I think that They know that they've got a solid defence normally. I think it's 15 clean sheets this season. That's just over a third of their game. So they've got that confidence within their defensive structure as well, that once they do get a goal, that they know that they don't concede too many.
Yeah, that was the perfect start for them as the ball cleared away by Luis Fiorini, the Manchester City loanee. There's a couple of tackles gone in and there's a Blackpool player down now. Blackpool not happy that play is continuing here. Millwall have it on their left-hand side. And now the referee will stop play, much to the angst of Ryan Leonard, who's just asking him why. But the Blackpool player is down holding the back of his head, and the referee has got a job to do there, and he calls on the medical staff who will come rushing on. And we've had just over 10 minutes here. Blackpool 0, Millwall 1. And what all the other teams are doing tonight as they prepare for their games tomorrow. They'll be looking on and listening on the Talksport app, I'm sure, as to what's going on here. But it's a little bit more subdued around us as the players go across and take on some refreshment, and also maybe take on a little bit of tactical information from their respective managers.
Yeah, you see both teams are walking over, and it's a good opportunity. I think Gary Wire won't have too much to say in terms of just well done. And, keep doing what you're doing, keep your concentration. For Blackpool, it's different, and it's probably a good opportunity to, if they do want to change their game plan a little bit and tweak it, because that early goal, it's a good opportunity to get information into the players.
Yeah, it is indeed. Let's have a look down the fixture list tomorrow. That game immediately leaps off the page. West Brom Norwich. You'll hear it live and exclusive on Talksport 2 tomorrow evening. 5:30 start. Dan will be with you for that one. Joe Shannon and the former Scotland striker Chris Owellamo will be with us for that. That comes after Brighton against Wolves, exclusively live in the Premier League for that one. Plenty more live football to come. And then at the bottom end of the table, Cardiff take on Huddersfield on Sunday lunchtime. 12 o'clock start for that one. Nigel Adley with the former Republic of Ireland striker David Connolly. Cardiff need a point and they will be safe. Millwall have it then. We're back in play here. Ball down the Millwall left-hand side. Watmore just dwelt on it too long. And then the ball not long back towards the edge of the Blackpool area. It looked like there was a shove there, but ball headed away, and forward goes Jake Cooper, and Cooper loses the ball out over on the far side. Blackpool being penned in their own end of the field at the moment. Courtney, they can't really get out of their own half at the moment.
No, and it's good game management as well from Millwall. Keeping the pressure on, making sure that Blackpool can't answer with a reply really quickly to try and get back in this game and draw it level.
Well, cross comes in, but it's headed away at the near post by Blackpool. Ball bouncing around edge of their own area. They'll knock it long, but Yates is outnumbered by two Millwall defenders. Strong towering header over on the far side by Gabriel, puts it out for a throw in. Millwall leading by a goal to nil. Can't tell you it's half time in the Women's Super League tonight. Big game there as well. Aston Villa 2, Manchester United 1. So huge game in the Women's Super League underway as well, as tackles are flying in here, and Millwall have earned themselves a free kick right on the left corner of the area, and this is dangerous for Blackpool, who, if they concede again here, are in real trouble.
Yeah, it's a real good area for a free kick, and we know that Millwall have a fantastic prowess from set pieces. And as you say, Mark, from a Blackpool perspective, 2-0 down potentially. Before 15 minutes, it's a mountain to climb.
Yes, indeed. Just to emphasise that Villa score, Rachel Daly's got 2 goals for Villa. Leah Galton with a reply for Manchester United. Here, Tom Bradshaw's goal has got Millwall in the ascendancy. They've got a free kick over on that far side, and they're looking here. Zian Fleming is over it, wondering what the options are around him. George Saville is there as well. Shackleton is going over to add his opinion, as the ball played short in the end, and what an absolute waste that was from Millwall.
Yeah, it was a waste, and actually well done to the Blackpool defenders. They were alert to the short and defended it quickly.
Well, the ball though back into the air, and there's a chance on the half turn, and it's just across goal They thought they'd double their advantage there, Millwall. Blackpool hesitant in defence. It was a shot and a half turn from Millwall, and Grimshaw delighted that. Rolled past his far post, as Blackpool now will bring the ball forward. Hamilton down the left-hand side. Looks to feed it into Yates, who's bundled over. This time he does get a free kick, and he gets up angrily to remonstrate with the official. It's taken quickly on the near side. Blackpool have it. Anderson gets it away. He'll get it back now. On the Blackpool left, lays it back into the centre circle for Curtis Nelson. Nelson goes back to Husband, but Millwall are pushing out here. Can Blackpool hold their nerve and trust their skill? They need someone to go forward rather than backwards, and in the end they lose possession, and it's out for a Millwall throw-in, and it's all a little bit slow at the moment from Blackpool.
Yeah, it is, and I think Patino is picking up some fantastic spaces if they can find him, but as you say, it's quite slow, laboured in the build-up. The tempo on the ball isn't quick enough.
You're listening to Talksport 2, live and exclusive in the Championship tonight. There's the ball with Mitchell trying to battle it. That's not the best pass from Anderson, but in the end it turns out to be a good one. But the ball played forward by Gabriel was given away, and Blackpool are just lacking that fluency. Millwall, I think it's clear to see from everyone in here, you can tell who's in the top six and who's in the bottom three. Yeah,
and I think that's the difference at the moment for me in terms of that fluency, especially in the final third. Millwall, they're moving the ball off 1 and 2 touch really quickly. Blackpool are struggling to get anywhere near them.
Yeah, Bradshaw's down. It was his snapshot across goal that almost led to a second to add to his opening goal, his 16th of the season. Ball out of play at the moment. The referee is going to give a drop ball because Bradshaw is back up on his feet. No treatment required for him. So Husband will get the ball on the edge of his own area. We've had 17 minutes already here on Talksport 2 tonight. And Blackpool, who need to win, are behind at home. And the ball played out over on the right-hand side. What have they got left? Blackpool, can they dig themselves out of a hole? They've got 2 wins in the last 3 that have given them a chance. As Grimshaw has it at the back, he's encouraging his teammates to go forward. I'm just looking at the back, the likes of Cooper and Hutchinson. I think they're quite happy, Millwall, for the ball to go in long, aren't they? They've got the height at the back. It shouldn't really be a problem for them.
Yeah, they've got the height and the aggression. So, as you say, they're happy for that ball to be flighted in because they attack it really well. The timing of both the centre-halves, you know, they head the ball really well, both of them. So, yeah, to flight that ball in, for me, is the wrong decision by Blackpool. They need to try and play it across the floor. They're not the most mobile, so you know, play it down the side of the centre-halves, get them running, get them turning and facing their own goal, and see what that does.
Yeah, ball is at the back now. Here with Grimshaw again. There's a look now to play it forward over on that right-hand side. But whenever the ball's in the air, Blackpool are not winning too much, but they do get it down now. Anderson will come forward. He gets it away on the near side. Invites Andy Lyons to get forward. Here now is CJ Hamilton on the left. Gets to the byline. Thought he'd earned himself a corner. He hadn't, and Long gave a really good shout to his defender there, who was thinking about clearing it. And now the ball punted downfield, and Bradshaw's in! Bradshaw in on goal. What's his touch like? Edge of the area, and he slices his shot wide, and he beats the ground in frustration. Well, George Long there was fantastic. First the shout to get the ball, and then the low, long pass. Bradshaw there in on goal. Probably didn't quite sit down as he wanted it to.
No, he didn't. It was just bouncing, wasn't it? And he couldn't quite get it under control quick enough. Don't know what James Husband was doing there with his positioning. It was absolutely terrible. In the end, I'll give him his credit. He does enough to try and put Bradshaw off, but initially, as I say, the positioning was absolutely terrible from Long's long kick.
It was. Ball out of play, and it's out for a Millwall throw-in. And Millwall lead by a 1-0. Tom Bradshaw with a goal. He's had 2 other good sighters as well. Could easily have had himself a hat-trick. Here now is Fiorini, gets it down for Blackpool. They've not had too much good ball so far, but that move that got them in down the left-hand side may be where they need to go. Hamilton down the left produced a cross that was blocked. Grimshaw again is going to go out wide on that right-hand side, and again Millwall will win the header, but it's going to be a throw-in over on the far side in front of the 2 dugouts on the Blackpool right. 20 minutes gone here And Blackpool are behind. Ball goes back again to Grimshaw. We keep mentioning this long ball. It's not quite working for them at the moment. But I guess they need to get the ball high up the field, and if they're not going to get Patino and Fiorini on the ball, then they've got to go long, haven't they?
Yeah, I suppose so. And maybe, actually, as I say, I don't think the movement in midfield is too bad. Actually, Patino's picking up some fantastic pockets. He's just not being found. And I think when it gets played out from the back, the defensive line have got to do a lot better of trying to find the midfield and playing through the thirds and being confident.
Well, Morgan Rogers, the Manchester City loanee, just had the ball over on the far side. He couldn't keep it in. He's just gesturing to his teammates. What am I supposed to do with that? Give me the ball to my feet. Give me a chance. Almost 21 minutes gone here. Mark Wilson with the Sheffield United striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Then Windle back at base. That'll be back tomorrow as well, part of our game day live coverage. Plenty more live football to come across the Talksport and Talksport 2 stations. If you've got the app, you won't miss any of the live sport, as Blackpool have won themselves a throw-in level with the edge of the area. The Talksport app free and available in all the usual places. Click on the live sport icon bottom of the screen and you'll catch all the live games. Swipe left and right between Talksport and Talksport 2 as Fiorini has it on the right, whips in a good ball, but it's cleared away edge of the penalty area. There's a challenge, Lions edge of the area, Bradshaw beaten to it on halfway. Blackpool have got it back. Blackpool out on this near side. Here now is Anderson, goes back to Husband. Ball played over the top. Can they find a shirt? They can. It's charged down by Jerry Yates. Yates looking for the pass back, didn't get it, and Millwall will bring it away from the edge of their own area. Then a strong challenge went in by Anderson. Referee happy to let that go. Can Hamilton get into the area? He does. Hamilton pass one but can't get past Hutchinson, and it's out for a throw-in. But this left-hand side for Blackpool is starting to look a little bit more promising.
Yeah, it's working, and that was a long ball, but the difference for me was Blackpool won the second phase. So yes, they competed for the first one, probably knowing a little bit that they're not going to win it, but actually the midfielder closer to them win the second ball that drops down. But again, Blackpool doing themselves no favours, getting a good position, and it's a poor offside to give away. I think it was CJ Hamilton. Yeah,
halfway through the first half here as George Long comes across to collect the ball. He'll bring it to the edge of his penalty area, and he'll look now to go long and downfield as the night closes in here on the northwest coast of England. It's time closing in on Blackpool's stay in the Championship. They're behind at home in a game they have to win. Long ball forward aimed at Bradshaw, beaten in the air, cleared away by Blackpool. Hamilton just punts it up in the air, hoping for a second challenge to come in, which it does. Patino won the header, but Yates can't do anything with it, and they'll go all the way back to Long. Millwall have it back, and at the moment you'd have to say looking comfortable and looking the most likely to add to their goal tally.
Yeah, very comfortable, and Jerry Yates, as you say there, is cutting a very frustrated figure for me. Going up for that header, not being able to win it, and I'm just wondering what the thought process is from Blackpool at the moment with these long balls.
Well, that's going to be a foul, and that might well be our first yellow card of the night. It is. Ian Fleming bundles over Patino, who was on the run over halfway. They need to get him involved a little bit more, the Arsenal loanee. And it is a free kick and a deserved yellow card.
Yeah, stopping an attack there. You know as soon as you make contact that's going to be a foul, and a bit of an accumulation as well. I think that's Fleming's second or third foul, so it's just a bit of a build-up as well.
Yeah, I was looking at Matthew Donohue's stats, our referee tonight. He does like a yellow card, but he had no option with that one. Cynical challenge. Throw in for Millwall down their left-hand side, just over the halfway line. They lead by that Tom Bradshaw goal to nil. Bradshaw, whose goals have dried up, only one in his last 8 before tonight, but he's looking alert and dangerous so far for the visitors, who have the ball on their left-hand side. And they'll keep it in. Neat footwork again. Can they supply a cross here? Watmore didn't get on the end of the intended pass, but Millwall pick up the second piece. Is driven across. Goal chance here, and that is I think it's hit the outside of the post. Watmore it was from 15 yards out. Grimshaw was at full stretch. Wasn't sure whether he got a touch on it. Clearly hit the post.
Yeah, it's, the way he takes it though is wonderful. Watmore takes it on the half turn on the back foot, so he's facing goal. It's a good way to pass into him as well, which helps, and strikes it very well. And as you say, I wasn't sure whether Grimshaw did get a touch on that, but just strikes the outside of the post.
Still 1-0, ball forward. Again they go to that right-hand side. Again Millwall win the header. Fiorini will pick up the ball, flicked on by Gabriel. Now there could be a chance here in behind, but that's quickly stamped out as Cooper knocks it away. But a quickly taken throw in, and now there's a pull back, and that's a cynical foul over on the far side. And the referee will wander across, and Blackpool have got themselves a free kick, and it's another yellow card. I'm not sure who it was who got it. Maybe Cooper, was it?
Cooper. I think what's happened is he's gone down the left-hand side on that attack, which is fine, and he's come back in, filling into left back, and Leonard's gone at centre half, and he's just got caught in possession. It's to say playing left back, it is probably not where he wants to be.
Well, this is almost a short corner, isn't it? It's about 10 in from the touchline, about 6 yards away from the byline. Blackpool have got everybody forward here, barring Husband, who loiters in the middle of the Millwall half. What can they do here, Blackpool? Can they fashion a set-piece opening? 26 on the clock. Blackpool 0, Millwall 1. Everybody penned inside the Millwall 6-yard box here. A scrimmage of bodies. The ball about to be delivered. No, it's play. Oh, that is an awful free kick. They tried to play it short, and it's cleared away. Well, we criticised Millwall at the other end, Courtney. When you're 1-0 down in a game you've got to win, not putting the ball into the box there, it's almost criminal, isn't it? Yeah,
it's terrible, absolutely terrible. And if you are going to play the short and you're going to try and play it into Morgan Rogers, you've got to make sure it gets there. The ball's just scuffed. You've got to fizz that into Rogers so he can hit it first time, and it's always going to be difficult as well, hitting the ball from the edge of the box through bodies for the shot. It's just poor decision making from Blackpool.
Yeah, it is. Ball back with Blackpool inside their own half. They've not had too much sight of George Long's goal away to our left, and that was a genuine opportunity and one that they passed up. There's a ball played down the right. This time they do win the header. It's bouncing around edge of the Millwall box. It's punted forward. Oh, there's a shocking clash of heads there. Referee's got to stop this. Millwall are frustrated, but that is an awful clash. Two players going at it. Bradshaw was on the end of it, and I think Bradshaw's come off worse. The Blackpool player went flying in. I think it's Curtis Nelson, and that was sickening, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It's always worrying when you sort of hear that noise on a football pitch, and both the players hit the ground the way that they did, and rightly so. The referee.
Well, Bradshaw's moving. The ball's gone in. Nelson's gone wholehearted to win it, but he's almost headed the back of Bradshaw, the side of Bradshaw's head.
Yeah, he has, and as I was saying, Matt Donoghue has done exactly the right thing there, stopping that, and thankfully now Tom Bradshaw's getting to his feet.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse than it was. Thankfully, both players are up on their feet. It was one of those horrible ones where you're not quite sure how serious it is, and the referee did the right thing there, even though Millwall were on the break and stopped play, and both players walking off, which is a good sign. What's your view on the concussion protocol? I just think for a head knock like that maybe the players should be given time off, maybe a short-term substitution comes on.
Yeah, it's a difficult one. I think the players should have the time to go through the protocols properly with the doctors and the physios, and as you say, I think in time a short-term substitution is something that should be and will be introduced for the welfare of the players.
Yeah, we talk a lot about player welfare, and then we overlook something like that. So Millwall are going to get the ball back. Now, they were on the attack, so I think they are going to keep it here. There's no indication they're going to give it back to Blackpool, so Blackpool have got some defending to do here. Millwall with Leonard. Cuts down the right-hand side, puts in a great ball towards the far post. It's kept in on the byline, pulled back and just cleared away in the nick of time. Millwall come flying in. Yates dispossessed edge of his own area. It's like pinball at the moment. Blackpool can't get rid of it. Millwall leading by one. A chance maybe on the break here for Blackpool. Fiorini picks it up. The tangerine shirt's flooding forward. He's got room now, the Manchester City loanee. Finds a pass wide on the Blackpool right. Look at this, 5 Blackpool players waiting in the middle. Fiorini lays it off. There was a theatrical fall to the ground there. And they're not happy, Blackpool, as Millwall break away with Shackleton. Shackleton's got Fleming to his right. Fleming now cuts into the edge of the area, drills it low. Ball brought down and laid back. A chance here. Mitchell's shot is blocked. That was a good opportunity for Millwall. who's still got the ball. Now a shot comes in, and it's fired over the top by Callum Stiles. The Blackpool fans are not happy. They thought they should have had a throw-in at the other end, but Billy Mitchell doesn't get many goals, but that was a good opportunity to make it 2-0.
It was a good opportunity. I think the pass was just ever so slightly short from Watmore, and I'm wondering actually when he takes the ball, can he swivel and hit it with his left foot like Bradshaw did earlier in the game that fizzed past the post? I just think trying to play the ball in that close proximity, you're always giving the defender an opportunity to try and get the block in.
Still 1-0, half an hour gone here, live on Talksport 2. It's fiery all right, and so it should be. Millwall, remember, a point would get them into the top 6, a win would put them 5th and put the pressure on those around them. For Blackpool, if they lose here, then their stay in the Championship will be over. Ball coming forward now for Millwall, looking to spread play again. Shackleton made a great run in behind there, they didn't find him. Watmore will lay it off. Here is Shackleton now. Ball works its way on this near side to Ryan Leonard. He lays it back now to George Saville. Saville patient, gets it back infield. Ball now worked to Bradshaw. Bradshaw brings it down with his midriff, edge of the area, looks to whip in across, but Nelson was there to head it away. Challenge coming in, Patino on the end of that challenge from Saville, and I think the referee was thinking about another card there, because I thought Saville just jumped into the Blackpool player.
Yeah, I think he was thinking about it, wasn't he? Sort of the little twitch of the hand towards the pocket, but thought different in the end.
Blackpool player is down. I thought Saville knew exactly what he was doing there, and I think maybe the yellow card is coming out, and Saville protests his innocence, but it just looked to me like he had a look at the player and jumped into him, did he?
Yeah, as you say, he's protesting his innocence, and we don't get the benefit of the replay, but it certainly looked on first showing that he had an idea of what he was doing there.
Well, Saville has become the 3rd Millwall player inside 32 minutes to go into the book. I'd say the referee is not averse to a yellow card, but I think in fairness to him, all 3 were clear yellow cards.
Yeah, you know what, he's let a lot of this game run. He's tried to keep it flowing as much as possible, but as you say, sometimes you've got to give out the cautions.
Ball forward for Blackpool, trailing by a goal to 0. There's another coming together here. Hamilton is adjudged to have fouled his opponent on this occasion, so it'll be a free kick to Millwall. And there's a bit of frustration growing around the home sections of support here, because they can't get the ball down, they can't play a passing style of football, they just can't get hold of the ball at the moment.
Yeah, again, I'm just really baffled as to what the thought process is behind the long ball. The 2 big centre halves in Cooper and Hutchinson, sometimes bigger centre halves get caught under the ball because their timing's poor, but no, that's not the case for these pairs. As well as being tall and physical, they've got great timing on the ball.
Here's Shackleton down the right hand side for Millwall, looks to put the ball in towards Fleming, just couldn't quite control it, and Keshi Anderson will clear it now, and that's a lovely touch. And now Blackpool have got a chance to break forward with Morgan Rogers driving forward, edge of the area, he's going to shoot, beaten away by Long. That was more like it from Blackpool. Good work from the Manchester City youngster Rogers, who forces a fine save from Long.
Yeah, he does really well, doesn't he? Initially the touch over the top, he keeps running, he does really well because he cuts across the defender, knowing that if they touch him he's going to draw a foul, and then finds some end product with a really good shot that forces Long into a good save.
Corner for Blackpool, whipped into the 6-yard box, keeper didn't get on that one, and it's smuggled away edge of the area. That was better from Blackpool, and it's got the home fans involved. 34 gone, live on Talksport 2. Don't forget, Game Day Live tomorrow, kicks off 12:30, Palace West Ham, live and exclusive on Talksport from 12:30. Blackpool got a throw in down there, left hand side. Ball with Lyons beats his man, can he put a cross in? He does, teases it to the near post, it falls to Hamilton, left hand side of the area, drills it across, cleared again, Hamilton's gone down, that's going to be a penalty to Blackpool. Hamilton tackled edge of the area, he made the most of it, he made sure the referee had a decision to make, and Blackpool out of nothing have got themselves a penalty and a Championship lifeline. They trail by a goal to 0, but now they've got a chance to level up from the spot.
Yeah, they haven't actually. It's the first few minutes of pressure they've put on Millwall in terms of the chance from Rodgers, then the corner creating a little bit of chaos. And I do think it's a penalty that Blackpool player just comes from behind, doesn't he? The Millwall defender can't quite see him. Looks like he's going for the ball and takes a little bit of the foot with it. And this is a massive opportunity now for Blackpool to level this tie.
Well, Jerry Yates has got 13 league goals as we welcome along listeners on Talksport. We're live at Bloomfield Road. Blackpool 0, Millwall 1. Millwall need a win. Well, a point to get in the top 6. Blackpool have got a win to save themselves from relegation. 1-0 Millwall, but Blackpool have got themselves a penalty that Jerry Yates is about to take after CJ Hamilton was brought down in the penalty area. He was running away from goal, if anything. George Long is protesting. He's come out to the edge of his 6-yard box. Jerry Yates waits. He's been in fine form this season. He's got 4 in his last 5. But this to provide a relegation lifeline for Blackpool. He waits. It's a short run-up. He's got his hands on his hips. Jerry Yates comes forward and blasts it straight down the middle. Blackpool are level at Bloomfield Road. And they've had a good spell in the game, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, and Jerry Yates had the nerves to make it count. 1-1.
Yeah, he did. It's a fantastic penalty. As you say, there's so much pressure on this penalty. It's a short, straight run-up, but he hits through it well. It's a good penalty under pressure. And Blackpool, it's their first moments in the game where they've actually looked like putting pressure on that Millwall goal. And it's strange, really, because Jerry Yates has hardly been in the game, but he's had a massive impact on this tie now.
Well, you can hear the atmosphere. The game is live and exclusive on Talksport 2 tonight. You can listen on the app via your smart speaker or online as well. As Millwall come forward, just stick with this. It's 1-1 here. Ball into the area, headed away by Blackpool, and the keeper will collect it. It's Blackpool 1, Millwall 1. Just what Blackpool needed. And that, well, he held his nerve. He went straight down the middle. Long dived away to his right, and all of a sudden Blackpool now are coming forward again. Strong challenge goes in on Patino. Ball breaks to the near side for Lions. Gets it away to Hamilton. 1-1 here. What a game we've got on our hands now, and all of a sudden it's Millwall who will need to try and come forward. They won't want to leave here with just a point. Patino left hand side for Blackpool. It's amazing what a goal can do, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just completely changed the atmosphere within this stadium. And now you look at Blackpool, they're knocking the ball around. They've given it away just now. I've put the kiss of death on it, but actually before that they were finding the tangerine shirts. They were putting passes together that they'd not been able to do in the majority of this first half.
Ball to Bradshaw, cleared away. Him and Curtis Nelson are involved in a real battle at the back. Ball bouncing around on halfway. Billy Mitchell does well. Gets it away to Ryan Leonard. Ball out to Shackleton. He comes forward. Strong challenge comes in. Lions puts it out for a throw-in. You can feel the atmosphere bouncing around this ground at the moment. Blackpool 1, Millwall 1. This is what football should be like, isn't it?
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. And you know, these Blackpool fans again. You know, there was a lull in the game, don't get me wrong, when Millwall went ahead, but again, out in full voice, trying to push their team on.
Ball bouncing around. Mitchell wins the header. 30 yards out, Saville dispossessed. Now there's a break on again, and the break comes forward. It's Rodgers again, tall and rangy, driving into the edge of the area. Can he get the shot away? Turns, tries to get it onto his left foot, goes for the left foot curler. There was a teammate arriving who might have been in a better position. I think it was Keshi Anderson. They're having a bit of an argument. They need to get back on here because the ball's on the edge of the area. Blackpool are trying to work their way into his shooting position. Yates opened up a yard of space, quickly closed down. Hamilton has it on the left, puts in a cross, header on top. Well, that goal is just over the top. That was good again, but I think we're starting to see Morgan Rodgers and what his strengths are, and that's running at defenders from the middle of the field.
Yeah, and especially on the counter-attack, he looks very dangerous. Say he's rangy, he's got a long stride length, so he doesn't necessarily look rapid, you know, in terms of that pace, but once he gets going into his stride, he's very hard to keep up with. And as you say, if Blackpool are going to get anything out of this tie, you've got to feel that he's going to be central to that.
Ball played forward, headed away by Blackpool. Mitchell got a shout, left it for Shackleton. Ball now thumped forward. Bradshaw will give chase. Husband in the air. That's a good header back to his own goalkeeper. I'm not sure he meant that, but it went there anyway. You are listening to Blackpool against Millwall in the EFL live on Talksport 2 with Carling. The UK's number one lager, 18 plus. Please drink responsibly. 1-1 here. Ball with Blackpool, edge of their own area, trying to tease Millwall out of position so they can play their way through the middle of the field. Patino's foot was high, Mitchell was caught there, ball breaks edge of the area, fed through to Bradshaw, sliding challenge comes in. I think he got just enough of the ball there, the Blackpool defender, and he needed to as well. Husband it was, who went flying in.
Yeah, he did. He had to get a part of the ball, and don't get me wrong, he did come through Bradshaw after, but that was after he got to the ball. He got a real good touch on it. You've seen it move.
Yates controls the ball on midway inside his own half, and it's a worker played forward, and it's good defending in the end from Leonard, who had to track all the way over to the far side to deny Hamilton the ball. And Blackpool will have a throwing over on the far side. 4.5 to go to the break, and Millwall, who looked so comfortable until they gave away that penalty that Jerry Yates dispatched. Well, it's the two number 9s that are on the board at the moment, and this game right in the balance. A point really no good for either of them. They both need the win. Ball with Millwall down their right hand side. Leonard it is. Needs a bit of movement around him. He's trying to almost buy himself a free kick, and in the end he did well to win a throw in there. He didn't panic, did he, Leonard, under pressure?
No, he did really well, and he's thinking about this half now, and Millwall, they were so superior in every way really for the majority of this half. They had so many chances to put a bit more daylight between themselves, and Blackpool could have quite easily been 2 or 3-0 up, but now if you don't take your chances, Blackpool back in the game, it's 1-1.
It is indeed, and this is, we'll say, the start of the footballing weekend. The football week's never ended on Talksport. Here now's a break here, Watmore edge of the area, weaves one way then the other and fires a shot just over the top. He'd be disappointed there he didn't hit the target. Grimshaw had it covered as it went about a foot over the top of the bar. Still 1-1.
Yeah, he does well initially, good footwork to get himself in a good shooting position, but as you say, Grimshaw, he was confident that was flying over, just watched it sail over his hand.
3 to go to the break. Great atmosphere here. So much at stake for so many different reasons for these two teams. As Mitchell has it, nice little turn gets him out of trouble, and he finds Leonard at the back. Leonard comes forward here, he's got Shackleton in front of him. Shackleton makes his way in field, so Leonard will go long over the top. Husband is the last man. Bradshaw gave him a shove, and the referee, I think, has flagged, or the assistant has flagged for offside anyway. Mentioned so much football. We had all 10 commentaries from the Premier League this midweek live and exclusive on the Talksport network. We've got another 2 tomorrow. Palace West Ham kicks us off at 12:30. Then we're going down to Brighton, who take on Wolves. 3 o'clock. That one's here on Talksport 2. And then we end the day tomorrow with a third of our live commentaries. It's a huge one in the Championship. West Brom against Norwich. Must win for both. Whoever loses, their season is over tomorrow. Joe Shannon and the former Scotland striker Chris Owellamo, our commentary team for that one. Ball not long by Grimshaw from the free kick towards that right hand side. Blackpool are starting to win a few headers now. They're starting to get the ball higher up the field. Fiorini drives forward now. He's working his way up to this near side. CJ Hamilton has it, looks to work his way into the area, floats up across, looks too deep. No, there's a Blackpool player arriving and wins a corner. It was Anderson who tried to volley it back into the 6-yard box. It comes off a Millwall player and it's behind for a Blackpool corner. 2 to go to the break. It's 1-1.
And again, Blackpool looking to cause some chaos. It makes you wonder even more so why they played that free kick almost in the corner position short, because the couple of corners they've had, they've looked dangerous. Can
they get themselves back in front? In swinging corner down the Blackpool right hand side. Ball whipped in towards the 6-yard box. Keeper comes and gets 2 good hands on it. And then Watmore will try and break forward for Millwall. He's waiting for support to arrive, and I think Watmore lost control of it there. Patino just nicked in front of him and Watmore brought him down. Quickly taken free kick, fired into the air, and it's behind for another corner. Millwall at the moment need half time. They're just starting to wobble, the Lions here. Blackpool looking for that second goal.
Yeah, they're too busy remonstrating with the referee. Blackpool get the ball down, play the quick free kick, and yeah, they're playing really well, you know, for these last 10 or so minutes of this half.
Another in-swinging corner from the far side. What can they deliver here? Runs being made into the area. Millwall defend really close to their own goal. There's about 8 Millwall players in the 6-yard box at the moment, and Blackpool are trying to pen long in if they can. Lots of movement. What's the delivery like? It's played deep towards the edge of the 6-yard box. Now it'll go back out to the right, fired in quickly, headed away by Millwall. And now Millwall are looking to break. They'll thump the ball forward. In the end, it's just a long clearance, and Husband does well to beat Bradshaw to it. What can Blackpool make? And Blackpool are starting to pick up some second balls here, and the ball now works its way to Patino. We've got 3 added on minutes at the end of the first half. Blackpool are going to have a shot from the edge of the area, and Long was down to his left-hand side. He was at full stretch, and thankfully for him and for Millwall, it goes just wide. Still 1-1.
Yeah, George Saville initially, I think he does really well with the header from the corner, getting it away. But as you say, Millwall now, Blackpool, they're starting to pick up the second balls. I think it was Nelson when it came down, he was calm, he was composed, he picked it out of the air and got her another tack on the go. And I think for Millwall, half-time can't come quick enough.
Gary Rowett has got a bit of work to do here, hasn't he? He knows that Blackpool are going to come out. They need to win Blackpool. It's whether they can break them down going the other way. They looked so comfortable for the opening half an hour of this game, but now Blackpool are all over them. And this is the Blackpool, I must admit, I expected when we arrived here. They're going down the right, and guess what? They've got themselves another corner. Oh, look at the reaction there from Cooper, who's already been booked, and he's throwing his arms at the official on the far side, saying that wasn't a corner kick, but it is another corner for Blackpool. Can they find a tangerine shirt on the end of this one? They're piling into the 6-yard box here. Another in-swinging corner, left-footed from the far side. Ball works its way towards the far post. Long came, didn't get a lot of it. It falls on the volley for Hamilton, and he's hit it about 20 yards over the top. Look, I think he's got to take the chance. He did, and he couldn't keep it down. But Millwall here, as we're halfway through the minimum of 3 added on minutes, they are desperate to get into those half-time dressing rooms.
Yeah, it's interesting what Blackpool are doing from these corners. Know that Millwall mark man for man, so they're just crowding the keeper, trying to make George Long make a mistake. He just about gets enough on that one to get it away, but when it does drop to CJ Hamilton, it's a lot to do from there to hit that on the volley, to try and find the target through players, and just gets it spectacularly wrong.
Goal kick, which Long is going to take his time over. If you just joined us, Tom Bradshaw inside the opening couple of minutes, but it provided a neat finish after good work down the Millwall right from Ryan Leonard, tucked away for his 16th of the season. And then up the other end, Jerry Yates from the spot after CJ Hamilton was fouled, leveled things up, going straight down the middle. It's 1-1, and it's been all Blackpool in the last 15 minutes. Ooh, bit of a nasty challenge on the near side, and Jerry Yates almost ended up sat with the Millwall fans, and they're down at the front making themselves heard as well. It's a tough night on the nerves for both sets of fans. There'll be fans of other clubs listening in, of course, via the Talksport app, I'm sure, wondering what their team need to do tomorrow. We're at the time of season where what you need to do is just keep winning. It's so tight at both ends of the championship. It is a division, isn't it? It just keeps on giving every single year. I think the ball's got stuck in the gantry here, so we haven't got a ball, and the referee says that'll do us. We've played the 3 minutes, and he blows the half-time whistle. It's been a pulsating opening 45 minutes of football. Blackpool won themselves a corner inside 30 seconds. They didn't make anything of it. And less than a minute or so later, they were behind. Tom Bradshaw on the end of a nice smooth down the Millwall right-hand side. Bradshaw tucked in, neat finish in the bottom corner, gave Grimshaw no chance. Bradshaw's had a couple of efforts as well. One he pulled across goal, and then an effort that he couldn't keep on target after a long pass forward from George Long. But up the other end, Blackpool started to grow into the game. CJ Hamilton was tripped on the edge of the area. Referee Matt Donoghue had no hesitation to point to the spot. Jerry Yates, Blackpool's top scorer, he held his nerve when it counted. He's got Blackpool in this one. At the break, it's all to play for. It's Blackpool 1, Millwall 1.
Mark Wilson, thank you very much. Nothing cagey about that on the Fylde coast. Courtney Street McCurt, we wondered who would come out fastest, who would come out with the intent. Blackpool pressing high and aggressively, but it was Millwall straight up the other end, wasn't it? Tom Bradshaw finishing brilliantly well after Ryan Leonard's top midfield run. Yeah, it was a brilliant finish, especially so early in the game. You like to try and get a few touches on the ball, with forwards, try and, maybe get a couple of sighters in, find the net. But, Bradshaw did extremely well. I think, you've got to give credit to the ball in as well. It had bags of pace on it. So all he's got to do is, I say all he's got to do, it's not easy. But he's just got to try and get a good contact on it and direct it goalwards, and he did just that. From there, Millwall in the ascendancy. Bradshaw had a big chance to double their lead, didn't they? George Long back to front, fabulous, huge distribution. Also Duncan Watmore hitting the post. In that period of the game, actually, the game should have been killed off by Millwall, shouldn't it?
Yeah, it should have. I think, if they don't come out of this game with the 3 points, they will rue those misses.
Back
100%.
to the first kind of 30, 35 minutes.
Yeah, they will look at that. They were in the ascendancy. They were superior in every single way. The possession, the way they moved the ball, the shots they were getting off. You talk about that one on the spin from Bradshaw. That's more instinctive. You say the one that comes over the top from Long, I think he's got to try and get a better touch on that initially. I know it's difficult because it is bouncing, but he's got to try and bring that down to give himself a better opportunity. And there's an instance where Watmore passed it on to Billy Mitchell. I think he can spin and hit that rather than try and pass it on. I think Mitchell was only a couple of yards away, so it's always going to be difficult to do that because you're always going to give the defender a chance to get back in.
Game comes to life though, out of the blue. Shackleton catching CJ Hamilton. There is contact. It is a penalty. It shouldn't be a penalty, but it is. And you know what I mean by that, Courtney, right? Because, he's gone over. There's contact there. He knows it's coming. The referee has a decision to make. It's the correct decision, but none of us like it.
No, but I think it's one of them. I will say this with my forwards hat on. In terms of CJ Hamilton, he's coming from behind Shackleton, so it's sort of blind. I think, as you say, Shackleton's going for the ball. There is contact, but I think when a forward nips in behind you like that, it's always quite difficult for the defender. And as soon as you make contact, it's always going to be a penalty.
Yeah, back in the side, Jerry Yates making no mistake.
Yeah, it was a really good penalty. There was a lot of time to think about it. I think George Long was getting involved as well, but it was no doubt about it. It was very much a high pressure penalty for Jerry Yates. Again, I was talking about Bradshaw. He'd hardly had a touch on the ball before he scored, and again Jerry Yates. It was a lot later in the game, but because of the way that Blackpool were playing, he was hardly in the game. He was sort of challenging for headers a few times, but really balls to his feet or opportunities in front of goal were very, very slim.
And all of a sudden, Blackpool didn't want the half-time whistle, did they?
No, they looked fantastic. There was a few corners. And I think for me, I always think about moments in the game and going back before the penalty that Blackpool got. Morgan Rogers, there was a run. I think he flicked it over one of the Millwall players' heads and it ended in a shot that went out for the corner, and I just think that was the moment where sort of the stadium started to lift a little bit. They go on, they get the penalty, and then Morgan Rogers has done a couple of marauding runs and gone past a few players, and I think he's the one with that little bit of quality within this side that could really do something special.
Being honest, a point does little for both of them, right?
Yeah, I think, as you say, neither team in the dressing room will be sitting there thinking, right, that's it, we're going to shut up shop and work for the point. Both of these teams will want the 3 points. So again, I think if the second half is anywhere near as good as the first half, then it's happy days for myself and Mark, because we've been treated to a good 45 minutes.
All square should be lively second period, guys. Thank you very much. Back shortly to Bloomfield Road here on your home, the EFL Talksport 2 half-time. Blackpool 1, Millwall 1.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with Carly. We're made by our mates. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
This is the sound of a grade 8 harpist who also has time to run their own bakery. Thanks to Intuit QuickBooks automated invoice reminders, she never has to chase payments. Get peace of mind. Get QuickBooks. Buy now and get up to 90% off for 6 months. Free trial not available. Exclusions apply.
Costs continue to soar.
It's sky high.
A bit like my gas bills, Ali.
As prices keep rising, we've nailed down hundreds of ours, so you can nail spring. Prices nailed at B&Q. You can do it.
Prices held until at least June, may be subject to temporary discount, subject to availability, excludes B&Q local stores.
Ah, cricket. The unmistakable sound of leather on willow.
Absolute beauty.
Fireworks. It's got the distance. Power ballads. And T-shirt cannons.
What a catch.
Vitality Blast is back.
Oh, wonderful technique.
Another explosive season of T20 cricket launches the 20th of May.
What a shot that is.
Have a blast. Early bird tickets available until the 3rd of May. Buy now. Search Vitality Blast. Selected grounds only. Terms apply.
Get ready for the bank holiday weekend with selected packs of beer and cider from £10 each at Morrison's, like San Miguel, Birra Moretti, Copperberg and more. So, crack open a cold one. It's time to celebrate the long weekend. Cheers to that. Majority of stores subject to availability. Exclude Scotland and Wales. 10 to 18 packs. Please drink responsibly.
It could be your neighbours getting the bunting out again. That guy rocking a tinfoil crown,
the Avenue having a street party. It could be that family having a get-together in their garden. Well, this coronation weekend, it could be you. Lotto's £20 million is the king of all jackpots, and it must be won on Saturday the 6th of May. Play on app. Lotto from the National Lottery. Account terms, rules and procedures apply. Players must be 18 or over.
We interrupt this track to inform you about selling your car the motorway way.
Ooh, what's the motorway way?
It's the sell your car from home way, whilst dealers compete to give you their best price way. Your car is even collected for free way.
No way.
Yes, way. Now, where were we? Motorway, the way to sell your car. For T's and C's, visit motorway.co.uk.
Hiya, what can I get you?
I'm so hungry.
Hungry? You need a Subway meal deal from just $5.49.
So if I have a 6-inch big beef sub with lettuce, a little cucumber and peppers?
It's $5.49.
Some onions, a few tomatoes, light mayo and ketchup?
Still $5.49.
With cheese and toasted?
Still $5.49.
What if I had some crisps and a drink?
Still
$5.49. I got it. Subway meal deal it is.
The Subway meal deal. A 6-inch sub with crisps and a drink from just $5.49. Participating stores, prices may vary. Extras cost more. Meal includes regular drink and select sides.
EFL Live on Talksport 2 with Carly. The UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly.
Any old night, shut up and get set for a proper scrap this Saturday afternoon as Game Day exclusive brings you Crystal Palace versus West Ham. Pony and cart coverage from 11, kick off 12:30 on Talksport.
Hard-hitting football coverage on DAB+, online, via the Talksport app and on your smart speaker.
EFL Game Day Live
on Talksport 2.
Forward to Mateta! Mateta's clear! Mateta! For Crystal Palace!
I'm pretty certain that if we can play like that for the next 5 games, a lot of teams will suffer at our hands.
What a goal! What a goal! Lucas Paquetá to put West Ham in front. To the far post, Mitoma will shoot and find the net! Brighton have surely won it!
Yes, we are fighting. We are proud for it. We are playing well.
Neves up to the ball, bottom corner, Wolves 2, Crystal Palace 0. Wolves get 3 massive points.
And joining is Vardy, and Vardy arrives and slips Leicester City on the counter-attack onto level terms.
Here's Iwobi inside the area, back flick for McNeil, fantastic third goal.
Game day back across the Talksport network tomorrow afternoon as we bring you 2 live and exclusive Premier League commentaries over on Talksport from 11, all the build-up to Crystal Palace against West Ham, whilst here on Talksport 2 from 2 o'clock we build up to Brighton against Wolves, that one underway from 3 o'clock. Time now to hear from both managers ahead of the early kick-off on Talksport. Shortly we'll hear from the Palace boss Roy Hodgson, but first here's West Ham manager David Moyes, who is full of praise for his opposition number.
I didn't know if I thought he was mad when he first came back in. But it's more, I think Roy's got an incredible passion for the game, so experienced, and I can understand totally why he's working and why people would want him to work, because he's such a good manager and coach, and he's proved it in his early results with Crystal Palace. So I hope that we can win the game because it's so important for us. But I have to say that Roy's done a great job since he went back.
I expect David Moyes' teams to be the sort of teams that have seen him win the award as Manager of the Year on about 3 occasions. And he wins that award because he manages to get his teams playing in a very organised way, but in a way also that enables them to exert maximum pressure on the opponents and get good results from the work that he does. So we're just talking about a guy who's a very good manager, a very good coach.
Roy Hodgson, before him David Moyes. Reminder, you can hear live exclusive commentary on Talksport. Crystal Palace against West Ham from 11am tomorrow morning ahead of kick-off at 12:30 here on your home, the EFL. Talksport 2, I'm your host, Dan. Would appreciate your company. It's been lively thus far up at Bloomfield Road.
We're all all set for action. Lovely pass here into the path of Leonard. Can he put a cross in? He can, and it's turned in. And Millwall have the first goal. And it's Tom Bradshaw who's tucked it in.
Flies across this ball to him. He's got all the pace on it, and he just so well just to side foot it in.
The ball though back into the air, and there's a chance on the half turn, and it's just across goal. Morgan Rogers driving forward edge of the area. He's going to shoot, beaten away by Long. That was more like it from Blackpool. Hamilton, left hand side of the area, drills it across, cleared again. Hamilton's gone down. That's going to be a penalty to Blackpool. And Blackpool out of nothing have got themselves a penalty.
This is a massive opportunity now for Blackpool to level this tie.
Jerry Yates comes forward and blasts it straight down the middle. Blackpool are level at Bloomfield Road. It's so tight at both ends of the championship. It is a division, isn't it? It just keeps on giving every single year.
Big second half to come. Blackpool wanting to take their Championship survival fight to the final day with success tonight. Anything other than a win would all but relegate them back to League One. Millwall desperate to jump back inside the top 6 tonight in the Championship. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, the Sheffield United women's striker, our match summariser, in place up on the Fylde Coast tonight. Courtney, the more I see the Hamilton penalty decision, the more it annoys me. It is so... What is our... Here we go.
Well, have you had a fiver on Millwall?
No. What has happened to our game? It is so soft. It's a penalty.
I mean, it's
I'm
difficult
not for a second saying it's not a penalty.
We've not seen the footage of it. What I will say is the fall was theatrical. I will give you that.
Oh no, but the referee has got the decision right. I'm not saying that CJ Hamilton has done anything awful. He's playing the game. That's what he's doing. It is so soft. Anyway, 3 yellow cards for Millwall. They've got to be careful, haven't they? I mean, the Saville one, I've seen a couple of replays of that. He's only got his eyes for the ball, in my opinion. There's a couple of Millwall players. It's just simmering away nicely. There's a bit of a needle. There's a good intensity to the game, adding to what has been an excellent evening's entertainment so far. But one or two in Millwall Blue have to be really careful now, don't they?
Yeah, they've got to be, extremely careful, not just on the ball as well. I think there was a point, I think it was Cooper was remonstrating with the referee, and I'm sure he's already on a yellow card, so obviously he's got to be really careful about doing that. And this is the thing as well, when now the sort of the emotions are rising up, it's how you control yourself and manage the game in the right way.
Both need to win, Courtney, and that will be the final words from Gary Rowett in one dressing room, from Stephen Dobby in the other, right?
Yeah, whatever way it comes, however you do it. Obviously, both teams have got the philosophies, and they'll do the analysis on the way that they want to play and how they think they're going to break each other down. But the long and the short of it is, at the end of this 90 minutes, have 3 points in your pocket. And right now, I'll be honest with you, I don't know which side it's going to go.
We're at that point in the season where every game matters, every half of football matters, every minute matters in the Championship, every game matters again this weekend across the Talksport network. It's been the second half live up on the Fylde Coast. Courtney Sweetman-Kirk alongside our match commentator. Take it away, Mark Wilson.
Cheers, Dan. We've got a young pitch invader just run onto the field here. I say young, he looks about 10 or 12. I'm not quite sure what he's doing. In fact, he's giving the Blackpool lads a team tour. That's what he's doing. I don't think they quite want him on the field. They're encouraging him to go off. I'll tell you what, the stewards are not in a rush.
Keshi Anderson quite appreciated it. Let's put it that way.
No, he's running off, and none of the stewards have moved. He's got a tangerine shirt on. He's done the knee slide to the corner, and he'll be getting into trouble when he gets over that barrier. We are about to get underway. The players are looking on. It's a little bit of calm before the storm that is going to ensue, because somebody here needs to get a winner. Will it be Blackpool? Will it be Millwall? We will find out over the next 45 minutes or so. The referee just getting ready to blow the whistle. And there we are, back underway at Bloomfield Road. We'll give you the two teams in a moment. Blackpool in their tangerine shirts and socks and white shorts are going from left to right. Millwall in their dark blue shirt, dark blue socks and white shorts, and their goalkeeper all in green as the ball over on the far side with Charlie Patino. He's looking to work it into the area. That's a good ball in. I think he's got a right to expect someone to be in and around the edge of the area there. Ball cleared away. Husband has it on halfway for Blackpool. Feeds it out to Keshi Anderson. Anderson now comes forward. He's got support on his outside from Gabriel. He doesn't initially use him, and he tries to feed it in, and he just has too much of his teammate, and Long is out quickly to collect it. It's Grimshaw in goal. As he might be about to get a touch now. Grimshaw, long ball forward. Gabriel, Nelson, Husband and Lyons are back four. Fiorini and Patino holding for Blackpool. Anderson, Rogers and CJ Hamilton with Jerry Yates up top. Here come Millwall on the attack, looking to get Watmore up alongside Nelson on this near side. Watmore does well to keep it in by the corner flag. He cuts back in now. Can he produce a cross? He does! Headed at the far post. Oh, he's headed across goal towards Bradshaw. What an opportunity that was there for Millwall. And the header across goal. Should that be at goal, Courtney Sweetman-Kirk?
I think it should, because I think Bradshaw has got to gamble on that. You can see the ball in the way it's flighted. Fleming is always going to be struggling to find the target with that, because he's backpedaling as well, and Tom Bradshaw gambles there. He's got to tap in from a couple of yards out.
He has. Long in goal for Millwall. Shackleton, Hutchinson, Cooper and Leonard at the back. Saville and Mitchell holding, with Watmore, Fleming and Styles behind Bradshaw up top, as Grimshaw has played it out on this near side. Good header from Gabriel, or it just eventually goes out of play. It was interesting what Dan said about the Millwall players on yellow cards. I think there's a potential flashpoint down here away to our left. The Millwall fans are up against the railings right at the edge of the pitch, and we saw earlier on, didn't we, Jerry Yates almost ended up over the railings. It's quite a tense atmosphere away to our left-hand side, and plenty of flashpoints and plenty at stake, and you can imagine that at some point it might boil over as Anderson is brushed aside by Styles, but then Styles is denied by Fiorini. Then Fiorini's, he's being pulled back by Styles and then brought down. I think it could have been about 4 fouls in that one. Styles, the Barnsley gets away with it. Here's Keshi Anderson near side. You're live on Talksport 2. Mark Wilson with the Sheffield United women's striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk at Bloomfield Road. Here now is Jerry Yates to Anderson. Back to Yates, 25 yards out. Trying to get the ball out of his feet. Tries to play the pass in. Here's Charlie Patino. Arceloni tries to caress a ball to the far post. Blackpool trying to keep it alive, but it just rolls out of play at the far post. But Patino there putting in a nice ball. Still 1-1.
Yeah, he did it, and it's a very similar position to the one Fleming was in at the Blackpool back post. Just trying to get it back across, but it's just blocked really well by Millwall.
Ball played forward by Millwall, but Anderson's got it in the centre circle, driving forward for Blackpool now. Can they get themselves in front? Anderson plays it wide on the left-hand side. Cross comes in towards the far post, and it falls on the volley. A touch by Anderson, and he's denied there by a calm bit of defending. It looked there for all money like Morgan Rogers was going to get the header on the initial cross. Blackpool still have it. Ball going to be whipped in towards the 6-yard box, headed away there by Hutchinson. Shot comes in, cleared away edge of the 18-yard box. Millwall just desperate to get the ball out of their own area at the moment. They play it towards Bradshaw on halfway. He wins the header, but Husband is there to sweep up. Good start for Blackpool.
Yeah, it was brilliant defending though, wasn't it, by Jake Cooper, I think it was. He gets up really well, heads the ball away, but Stephen Dobby said at half-time, they need more of it, Blackpool. It's been an absolutely brilliant start from them.
Fiorini's just put too much on that one as he curled it in from the right-hand side. It goes behind for a goal kick. 4 gone second half. Blackpool 1, Millwall 1. A point really not enough for either of them. It would lift Millwall into the top 6, but they will have played a game more than their fellow challengers to the playoff places. They'd love to get a win and really crank up the pressure on the likes of Coventry, Sunderland, Blackburn, West Brom, Preston. The list goes on, really. We've almost got an eliminator for the playoffs tomorrow as West Brom take on Norwich. It's live on Talksport 2, 5:30 tomorrow. Tackles flying in. Millwall come up with a ball. Have it with Styles on the near side. Lays it into the centre circle for Mitchell. He teases the ball out to the left-hand side where Cooper makes his way forward. Here now is Watmore. Watmore tackled by Anderson. Throwing Millwall halfway inside the Blackpool half. Here's Mitchell. Runs onto a quickly taken throw in, but Anderson brings it down for Blackpool, and that's a nice ball from Patino now, and they're trying to slide the ball in, and they're racing out. The keeper's come flying out long, and he hit it against his own defender, and it's gone away, and it's eventually put out for a throw in, but Long, that could have gone anywhere. CJ Hamilton was racing down on goal, but Long got just enough of it. Here now, a chance for the shot, deflected off Mitchell. That's going to be... Oh, he's given a goal kick. We were right in line with that. That was definitely a corner, but George Long there almost got his sums wrong.
Yeah, he did. He comes out, he's flying out. You see what he's trying to do, obviously, to get to the ball before CJ Hamilton, and as you say, Mark, that could have gone absolutely anywhere. Luckily, from a Millwall perspective, they managed to get it out for a throw-in in the end, but you're right, that shot from Morgan Rogers there, it definitely takes a deflection. I think it was off Billy Mitchell.
Yeah, went for the curler and it brushed off the side, but Millwall now are going down the other end. Husband will clear it away up towards halfway. Another strong challenge goes in on Yates, who maybe was a little bit guilty going to ground too early. And George Long has it. A little bit more time this time as he goes left-footed over the halfway line. Good header again from Millwall. And it is going to be a foul. And the referee just has a look at that one. It was Bradshaw who did really well there up against Curtis Nelson. It's a bit of a mismatch in terms of height, but that was a good header. And it is a free kick for Millwall, who are going to send the likes of Cooper and Hutchinson forward.
Yeah, he's actually a good header of the ball, Bradshaw, as well. He gets his timings really well. He's got a good spring on him, so he does compete really well in the air.
Yeah, he does indeed. Can tell you. Well, there's been late drama in the Women's Super League because Manchester United, who were behind, have scored in added on time. They've beaten Aston Villa by 3-2. The Women's Super League league leaders win again. Ball into the edge of the area. Will it fall for Mitchell? No, it won't. Blackpool are looking to break here. They didn't have a pass and it's given away. And it goes back into the area. Watmore, though, just couldn't find it. There was a chance for both teams there. Blackpool were looking to get on the break. Now they're looking to go long, but it's too long. Hamilton won't chase that one, and George Long will pick it up. But that, Courtney, is a massive goal for Manchester United. 3-2, they've won it late on in the Women's Super League. Turner with a goal, 94th minute.
Yeah, it's absolutely huge, and actually at the moment Manchester United got a bit of a proclivity, like the men's team of old, for scoring late goals, keeping themselves in it. If it's not Millie Turner, it's normally Rachel Williams popping up. So yeah, they're having a fantastic season.
They certainly are. 6 points clear of Manchester City. They're 7 points clear of Chelsea, but Chelsea have got 3 games in hand. So a dramatic finish in the Women's Super League about to come in as well. More commentaries to come across the Talksport network as that season draws to a conclusion as well. Building up to the World Cup, of course, in the summer for the women. Here's Bradshaw, makes a good run in behind, picks it up left-hand side, lays it back to Zian Fleming. Fleming cuts in on his right foot, thought he was too far away, gives it to Mitchell. Mitchell just works it further across the field, gets it back Mitchell. There is a ball wide on the right if he can find it. He does. Shackleton it is who pops up with it, but Mitchell just going backwards, and in the end Yates closed him down and Yates knocks it out for a throw in. I think Mitchell needed to be a little bit more positive there.
Yeah, he did. There was an earlier run from Shackleton which I thought he could have found, but chooses to recycle it.
Here's Fleming. Millwall having a good spell of pressure here. What can they put on the end of it? They've been struggling second half. Again, they had that pass out to Shackleton wide on the right. Again, they turned it down. They'll come left instead to Callum Stiles. Stiles, a little jinking sidestep, gets it away. Cooper's cross is deflected. It'll fall 25 yards out. Mitchell, I think, thought for a second about having a go there. He didn't. He goes down the right-hand side of the area. Best we've seen from Millwall. 9 minutes gone second half. Ball into the area, and Bradshaw back to goal, running away from goal, tried to flick it on. Just got too much of it. It goes behind for a goal kick. 1-1.
Yeah, the angle was against Bradshaw at that point. Nelson does well just to put enough pressure on, and it's going to have to be absolutely spectacular from there for Bradshaw to find the target, let alone find the back of the net.
Well, here now is Yates, pops up on the right-hand side. There's runners in front of him. Squares it off here. Chance for Rogers' shot. Just loops over the top. Has his head in his hands. It had a bit of swerve on it, that one. And it's behind for a goal kick. He's yet to score for Blackpool, the Manchester City loanee, but he's looked close on a couple of occasions tonight.
Yeah, he's looked really good, and it's hard to believe he hasn't scored because you can see he's got wonderful technical ability with the football at his feet and does really well there. If that's probably 2 yards, he's 2 yards further back, that's probably fine in the top left-hand corner.
Wrong of me as well. I mentioned the Women's Super League. We have, of course, got the Women's Champions League semi-final second leg. Arsenal against Wolfsburg. Monday, live on Talksport 2, 5:45. Huge crowd expected at the Emirates for that one. You can hear it on the Talksport 2 network. Winner, of course, plays Barcelona, who knocked out Chelsea.
That will be with myself.
Are you there, are you?
I am.
Excellent. You do some miles, don't you?
Yes, the speedometer, the clock on the car is definitely showing it.
Ball played forward. Won by Blackpool, thumped downfield. Yates is offside, so he can't go to it. 10 gone second half. I think Millwall have just weathered a bit of an early Blackpool storm in this second half, and now they're starting to grow into this one. It's 1-1. Bradshaw had Millwall in front inside 2 minutes, but Jerry Yates from the spot, 10 minutes before the break, levelled things up. Looked like a push by Zian Fleming on the far side. And he will be brought back by the blow of the whistle edge of the area. The Blackpool fans are making themselves heard. They believe Blackpool have got to get a win tonight. Oh, the odds are firmly stacked against them, but they've come out bright second half, haven't they?
Yeah, a lot brighter, or more consistently brighter, let's say. They had that real good first spell in the first half and then fell behind, whereas I would say for this first 16 minutes or so of this second half, you could argue they've been the better team.
They have. Millwall though picked the ball up. Mitchell's starting to see a lot of it now. He's dominating the middle of the field. He finds Watmore. Watmore tried to go past Gabriel, who got him and the ball. No foul. Here's Mitchell again. Pops up left corner of the area this time. Finds Styles. Styles looking to work it onto his right foot. Plays it out wide on now into the middle of the field. Fleming's going to have a dip. Wow. When you're chasing a goal, that was hopeful at the best. I know he's hit the net 14 times in the league this season, but that was way over from Zian Fleming.
Yeah, it was, and Leonard's telling him what he thinks. It's come across from the left-hand side. They just need to keep going, finding side to side, and then invariably that'll open up a pocket for Blackpool. But trying to hit that ball from there, that far out, it's a ridiculous decision.
Goal kick, 12 gone second half, 1-1 here. Game day live to come tomorrow. 2 live from the Premier League. All from 12:30 across the Talksport network. If you've got the app, you'll not miss any of the action as Millwall look to break with Saville. Anderson went flying into the challenge. Millwall, though, have the skill to get it away. Here's Styles, starting to see a lot of it left-hand side now. Inside the Blackpool half, he cuts past one. He's 25 yards out from goal. He plays a lovely ball to Cooper. Cooper drills it, he's allowed to run, and the shot is deflected, and it hit Husband 6 yards out. And the keeper, Grimshaw, gratefully comes out to collect it. Then he bowls it away just in front of Anderson, and it skips out for a throw, but that was a Millwall chance.
It's a massive interception there from Husband, because for me that looked it was going to nestle itself in the bottom right-hand corner. But James Husband, right place at the right time. It could have easily deflected anywhere, but gratefully to Grimshaw on this occasion.
Still 1-1, closing in on the hour mark, live at Bloomfield Road. Will there be Championship football here next season? Well, they need a win, but there's a chance. Bradshaw played in and on goal, chips it over the keeper, and he has scored again. The Welsh international peels away. It could be a huge goal for Millwall. It could lift them into the playoffs. It's the finish of a man in form. Bradshaw makes it 2. It's Blackpool 1, Millwall 2.
It's a wonderful, wonderful finish from Bradshaw. We've seen two sides to him tonight. The first time finish in the first half, and this one in the second. First of all, the timing and the movement on the run is exquisite. And then how many forwards in this position? They panic. He takes a touch, he takes 2 or 3 touches, and then it's a lovely little dink over Grimshaw. It is a beautifully worked goal from the Millwall forward.
That was a great strike. 2 lovely finishes from him. The man who's back in the Welsh squad congratulates his teammate for the pass, but that was a finish of a player at the peak of his powers. And it might be a goal that fires Millwall into the top 6.
Yeah, it might be. He was so composed. There's so many forwards in that position that would panic, maybe take the shot on early with Grimshaw on rushing. But he doesn't. He just takes a couple of touches, settles himself down. He then sees the keeper rushing out. And then the technique just to dink it over is absolutely wonderful.
And it just nestled inside the post. And now Blackpool have got it all to do again. They trail by 2 goals to 1. The point would mathematically keep them alive, but they are relying on a lot of favours from elsewhere. As Rodgers has worked his way into the box, chance for an instant leveller. but it's cleared behind for a corner to Blackpool. Well, they looked threatening from corners first half, but couldn't quite manage a goal from a set piece. Can they get one here? Coutinho it is who's going to swing it in. Again, Millwall defend in their 6-yard box. They've got a couple of players on the penalty spot area as well. The tangerine shirts come flooding in. Ball cleared partially away. CJ Hamilton has it. Edge of the area. Can he produce a cross? Now he does put a cross in, but the keeper Long comes to collect it. He gets clattered for his trouble. And the referee, well, Long's going to go down now. As he is, his team are in front. He's just looking to eke out every second out of this game he can.
Yeah, he will take his time to get to his feet, but I think George Long does really well there. He's under pressure, lots of bodies in the way. But exactly what you want from your goalkeeper in that moment. He commands his area and takes the ball very well.
He does indeed. Referee's just gone over the far side. I'm not sure if something's been thrown on the pitch or he's just gone and given something to the fourth official far side of the field. 2-1 Millwall leads. When you've got a goal scorer like Tom Bradshaw and you're going into the playoffs, if they get there, they're going to be a threat to anyone and everyone, aren't they?
Oh yeah, and I think that goal just underlines his quality. How composed he was in that moment. There's the weight of the Millwall playoffs on his shoulders. But he just takes his time and slots it in the net.
There was a high boot there from Blackpool, and that's going to be a free kick to Millwall. Despite the protests off Coutinho, the Arsenal loanee who's had a promising season in the Championship with Blackpool. They love him in these parts, the youngster. But it could be a harsh lesson. Doesn't matter how good you are, you've got to learn your trade, and he's doing it the hard way with Blackpool in what could be a relegation season. I'm sure he'll have learnt plenty of lessons that will serve him well in the rest of his career. Millwall have it. Free kick. 40 yards out from goal. Right of centre. Blackpool defending edge of the 18-yard area. 62 on the clock. Millwall leading by 2-1. Ball floated high. They're inviting Cooper to get on the end of it. He heads it into the 6-yard box. There's a blow of the whistle. The offside flag went up, which is a bit of a waste there as Bradshaw got in front of a attempted quickly taken free kick and Blackpool have got it back. What will Stephen Dobbie's plan be from here, do you think?
I think it seems strange to say, but more of the same of this second half.
Well, he is going to make a change here. Maybe this is a statement of intent. Josh Bowler is coming on. James Husband makes way, so there's going to be a reshuffle somewhere as he brings on Bowler, the player on loan from Olympiacos, of course. He comes on. So Husband, who's pretty much just been sweeping up at the back, hasn't he? Makes way.
You'd imagine that's more to signal an attacking intent, but as I say, I think Blackpool have started this half actually really well. They've switched off for one moment, unfortunately, and Tom Bradshaw's made them pay for that.
Yeah. Bowler's taken up residence on the right-hand side. He might get a touch here. Wanders infield, looks for the give and go. Rather fired it at Coutinho, but his touch was good enough to keep possession. Here's Bowler again, who's clearly got a bit of a free roll at the moment. Ball wide on the Blackpool left-hand side. Can they conjure up an equaliser again here? Ball played out wide on the Blackpool left. Comes back to Bowler now. He finds Fiorini, who has it. He comes wide now on this near side to Gabriel. Gabriel has it. Blackpool need a goal, and that kind of pass is not going to get it. Stiles intercepts it easily, and he goes long looking for Bradshaw. Bradshaw wins the header, but there's nobody with him. And Blackpool will tidy that up nicely, and then it's pumped downfield. Yates is going to give chase here. He's going to make Cooper have to make a decision here. He tried to push Cooper over the sideline, and the referee said it's a throw-in to Millwall, right down by the corner flag in their left-back position. They lead by 2-1. As it stands, Blackpool are going down, and Millwall are going into the top 6.
I think it's a good position here for Blackpool to try and really pen Millwall in, just over to our right.
Well, something else has been thrown on the field. Jake Cooper is just handing that to the official on the near side. I'll tell you what, they've taken an eternity to take this throw in. Maybe a sign of things to come. Millwall not in a rush. They don't need to be in a rush. They've got at the moment what they need, and their hands on 3 points. Climbing header at the back from Saville. Ball played forward up to halfway. Blackpool head it in. Anderson with a lovely first touch brings it down on his chest. That was quality. Gets it away to Patino. Now he finds Bowler. Bowler on the right this time, looking to cut in field. He's got Patino making a run inside the full-back, and Patino will get it. They pull back in the penalty area, but it's cleared behind. There were plenty of tangerine shirts waiting, but Patino couldn't find them. Corner Blackpool.
Like that a lot from Bowler. Takes the time on the ball. Just waits and waits and waits to release it till the right time. It's a shame for Patino that he can't find a tangerine shirt.
Ball going to be swung in again. Another Blackpool corner towards the 6-yard box. Brave header from Bradshaw, proving his worth at both ends of the field. Fiorini now is going to swing it back in. It's not the best ball in. It's headed away round about the penalty spot area. 24 minutes remaining. Blackpool, their championship future dangling by the thinnest of threads. They give it away, they get it back. Here's Fiorini, 25 yards out. He's going to let fly. Oh, what a strike! What a beautiful strike! Fiorini, the Manchester City loanee, has beaten Longhall ends up from 25 yards. And that is a lifeline again for Blackpool. A strike out of the very top drawer. It's Blackpool 2, Millwall 2.
Wow, what a strike that is. Even more so to think the last two balls is hit Fiorini. The ball into the box was poor, the ball up the line was terrible, but then he's got the quality to hit this. It's as straight as an arrow. It's hit so well, and you think that George Long's going to get down to this. He tries his best, but it's hit with such ferocity that he can't get down quick enough to find it at the bottom left-hand corner.
Well, more missiles are coming out of the field behind George Long. The Blackpool fans should be celebrating, not throwing things on the field at the moment. There's just no need for it. What a moment that was, though, for Lewis Fiorini's first goal for Blackpool. That was a strike of absolute quality. Well, you've got to be good to be involved at Manchester City, and that may be just a marker down for that young man as well. Quarter of the game to go, live on Talksport 2. It is Blackpool 2, Millwall 2. And again, it's back in the melting pot. What a game this is.
I think that's no more than Blackpool deserve in this second half, to be honest, the way that they've started it.
Well, here's Styles, though, looking to work his way in. Had a shot deflected up in the air. Bradshaw brings it down. And Bradshaw's offside, I think, and he protests about that. Well, once again, it's now Millwall who've got something to think about. That was a wonderful goal. I don't think he could have hit it any better. It went like an arrow, didn't it, in the bottom corner. Long at full stretch away to his right, just couldn't keep it out.
Yeah, I think Long, as you say, he was trying it full stretch. He knew where it was going, but sometimes it's just hit so well that try as you might, goalkeepers can't get anywhere near it.
Well, you are listening to Blackpool against Millwall in the EFL live on Talksport 2 with Carlin, the UK's #1 lager. 18 plus, please drink responsibly. 22 minutes plus added on time remaining. Blackpool need to win, Millwall need to win, but at the moment a point apiece. Not really what either of them want to be taking home tonight. I think we'll get a winner, because I think at some point Blackpool are going to have to go all out for the winner, aren't they?
Yeah, I agree, Mike. You can't help but feel there's another goal in this game, and to say Blackpool, they've got to go all out for survival. Now, whether that ends in them getting themselves in front, or the fact that they're going forward, opening up gaps, and Millwall maybe be able to hurt them on the counter.
Mitchell has it down the Millwall right, can't find Fleming. Ball cleared away but out for a throw-in, and it's quickly thrown back on by the Millwall dugout. They want play back underway. They're not taking too long over throw-ins now, because they need a victory. They have it on the right-hand side. Ball floated in towards Watmore. Can he produce a cross? He tried to find Bradshaw. Ball cleared away from him, but it's coming back in. Here's Saville, 25 yards out. Is he going to have a dip? No. Works across the field and moves it out wide on the Millwall right-hand side. Three-weight in the middle for the cross. Will it arrive? No, it's blocked at source. Bloom's up in the air, and Blackpool here with a chance could find themselves on the break, as great touch from Rodgers on halfway. He goes down in the challenge, and the referee, I think, actually the ball had gone out of play, and it's a throw-in just over the halfway line. Great atmosphere here at Bloomfield Road. Just over 12,000 in. It's a tight little ground if you've not been. It's not too high. Wherever you sit, you're quite near the field here, and it does add to the atmosphere. And Millwall, their fans pretty quiet to our left-hand side. 1,200 of them have made the long trip up here. Credit to them on a Friday night. They'll be home late in the morning, or early in the morning, however you look at it. Are they going to find a winner? You are listening live on Talksport 2. Styles finds Fleming. Fleming does well. Finds Styles, edge of the area, weaving his way in. Pass one, pass two. All thought about going down there. Ball works its way to Watmore. Watmore runs into a brick wall, and the ball comes out on the near side for a throw. And I thought for a second he was going to go down there, Styles.
Yeah, I think there was a little bit of contact, but for me, not enough to win a penalty, and also there was contact on the ball.
19 remaining. It's that type of game where it just keeps on giving more and more. Blackpool now defending, have conceded another throw in. Well, they needed a response and they found one. A goal out of the top draw. Wonderful strike from Fiorini, and now Blackpool have got a chance to break. They'll find on halfway Rodgers. Rodgers lays it back to Keshi Anderson, who's starting to show his quality. Got brought down. That was a strong challenge, and that might be a yellow card for Bradshaw, who again protests his innocence. But I think he knew what he was doing there. He saw the danger in Keshi Anderson, who's starting to show his quality now.
Yeah, he's starting to get on a ball a little bit more, isn't he? Pick up the pockets. Just trying to find Morgan Rodgers down that right-hand side, and it's a shame because Morgan Rodgers had a lot of space in front of him.
Here's Bowler now, the substitute, weaving his way towards the edge of the area. Works his way past one, past two, slides in. That was a naughty challenge there on Watmore, who goes down. And Watmore runs his side, a free kick on the edge of his own penalty area.
I think he's lucky. The way that the referee has played this game, potentially not to come away with a card there. It was a little bit of a lunge.
Yeah, it was, wasn't it? Free kick for Long to take. I don't think we've seen the last of the cards. I don't think we've seen the last of the goals either. Long looking to clear it downfield. Well, he was beaten from the penalty spot, and he was beaten from 25 yards out. Other than that, he hasn't had a lot to do, has he, George Long? What Blackpool have had, they've taken. Shackleton lets it roll out far side for a Millwall throw-in. 10 over halfway. Mark Wilson with the Sheffield United striker Courtney Sweetman-Kirk. Dan Windle back at base. Dan will be back tomorrow, part of Game Day Live. 2 commentaries on Talksport 2 tomorrow, 3 o'clock. Brighton Wolves in the Premier League, exclusively live on Talksport. And then we're in the Championship, 5:30, West Brom, Norwich. Those are our Talksport 2 offerings. Game Day Live over on Talksport. Sees Palace, West Ham. Here now is Saville working his way to the area. Tries to square it. Great first touch from Fleming. He goes down. And that's a penalty to Millwall. And a chance now for Millwall to go back in front. And the referee had no hesitation for the second time in pointing to the spot. And it's going to be a yellow card. And it's Fiorini, who, 5 minutes ago was the Blackpool hero. And now he is the villain. And Millwall have got a chance to go back in front.
Saville does extremely well down this left-hand side initially, and then tries to find Watmore. Takes a touch just to his left, and that's what draws a tackle from Fiorini. And it's, as you say, he's gone from hero to zero in a matter of moments.
And it's going to be Zian Fleming who's going to take it. Tom Bradshaw is on a hat-trick, but he's going to have to wait as Fleming spots up the ball. Now it's Grimshaw who's playing the mind games. He's stood away from his goal at the moment, almost like a penalty shootout. He's waiting at the side of the goal. Now he'll wander towards his goal mouth now. Zian Fleming, who's been a great signing, hasn't he, for Millwall. 14 goals for him. Can he do what Jerry Yates did down at that end? Can Grimshaw become the Blackpool hero? Fleming marks out his run-up. 3-4 steps, waits the whistle from the referee. Grimshaw's jumping up and down. He's pointing towards his right-hand post. Fleming looks on. A chance to put Millwall potentially back in the top 6, and he does. Grimshaw went the right way but couldn't keep it out. And Fleming celebrates. Millwall celebrates for the 3rd time tonight. Millwall are back in front, and Blackpool are in trouble. It's Blackpool 2, Millwall 3.
There's no doubt about that in my mind. For one, that it's a penalty. Then Zian Fleming steps up, got a fair amount of time to think about this. Grimshaw on the line, he's playing the mind games, he's pointing to his top right hand corner. Doesn't bother Zion Fleming though, just composes himself. You can see him counting his steps in his run up and puts it in the bottom right hand corner expertly well. Say Grimshaw goes the right way, but it's placed that well in the corner that he can't get anywhere near it.
Picked his spot, put it in. 15 for the season for him. Millwall, who found goals hard to come by, have found 3 tonight. And Blackpool again have got to haul themselves off the canvas, and they've got 15 minutes left to do it. There'll be fans of Huddersfield, Cardiff, Reading, Queen's Park Rangers all breathing a huge sigh of relief at the moment. The Millwall fans, who were pretty quiet, are now back on their feet as forward comes Watmore, looking to finally kill the game off. It may just break edge of the area. Mitchell's trying to burst in and pick up the pieces, but Blackpool will just knock it forward, and Saville is bundled off the ball, and it's out for a throw-in over on the far side. Well, talk about learning lessons. Fiorini with a wonderful strike, then gives away the penalty.
Yeah, he just dives in. It's so congested in the area, he just needs to stand up, but
here's Bowler going the other way, looks for the give and go edge of the area. It'll fall to Patino. Can he unleash his shot? It's on his right foot, goes for the curler but couldn't keep it down. He's got the quality to score from that kind of range, but he didn't quite hit it as he would have wanted. It's still Blackpool 2, Millwall 3.
No, he doesn't, and you see what he's trying to do when he chops onto his right foot. He's just trying to find that top right hand corner. He doesn't hit it with a lot of venom, he's just trying to guide it, but unfortunately for him it's over the bar.
Well, we thought there'd be another goal, we thought there'd be another card. We've had one of each. I think we go again. I think there'll be more of both. Again, George Long is protesting things are being thrown on the field. Blackpool fans need to do themselves a favour here and behave here, because what they're allowing to do, they're allowing Millwall to slow the game down.
Yeah, exactly.
And also Long, he's handing over missiles that have come on again. We talked about player safety earlier. You just can't throw things onto the field. Why do people even think that is acceptable to do?
No idea. It's something that, as you say, for one, we don't want to see in the game at all, and of player welfare. And from a fact of the Blackpool fans, look, you're slowing down the game, you're halting the momentum. This is exactly what Millwall want, to slow the game down and try and get to that 90-minute mark.
Well, they've got 12 minutes left. It's the Millwall fans you can hear singing here at Bloomfield Road. Well, they've got the Big Dipper and all the big roller coasters down the road. We've been on a roller coaster tonight, all right. Bradshaw had Millwall in front inside 2 minutes. Lovely finish. Jerry Yates levelled up from the spot after Hamilton was fouled. It was 1-1 at the break, but another fine finish from Bradshaw in on goal. Wonderful little chip over the keeper, put Millwall in front. Then Luis Fiorini fired in a 25-yard screamer in the bottom corner to make it 2-2. But Zian Fleming from the spot, after he had been brought down by Fiorini, means that Millwall, as it stands, are going 5th in the table. And again, we're not back yet underway. I think the referee is speaking over on the far side to the officials. They need to do something. There's more stewards appeared away to our right-hand side. And there is going to be a substitution here. And it is, I think, Fiorini that goes off. And he's replaced by Brad Holmes, the youngster. So they're going for it here. Brad Holmes brought into the action. He'll be stewing on that, I think, won't he, Luis Fiorini? Talk about hero to villain. But that's football, isn't it?
Yeah, he'll be absolutely devastated. But like you say, Mark, that's football, and you've got to have thick skin, and he's certainly going to need that for the moment. It'll take some getting over, but it's a massive lesson learnt for the youngster.
It is. 11 to go. Time all of a sudden seems to be ticking by. There's a clash on the far side. Bradshaw knows he's caught the Blackpool player here, and he's just kneeling over him, making sure his opponent is okay. The Blackpool player getting up, hopefully to his feet. The physios do come on, and Bradshaw's going to be spoken to. Now, given that he's been booked, this is pretty much your first and last warning, isn't it?
Yeah, I imagine so. I don't know whether the substitute being readied potentially to bring some of those players off with a yellow card and try and see out this last 10 minutes.
Well, here is a substitution, and it is going to be Callum Styles who's going to make way. Scott Malone will come on, who is a fullback by trade, so Scott Malone into the action. And they are looking to bring on a couple of substitutions here, Millwall. So Styles is one that's going off, and also going off, I think, is Jamie Shackleton, isn't it? Over on that far side. So he makes way. Coming on into the action then, a double change for Millwall. And it is Danny McNamara. So two of the players that were left out of the last game have come on here for Millwall as Gary Rout looks to protect what he's got. And Millwall clear away the free kick, and now they're looking to break if they can, but they've turned over possession inside their own half. Blackpool now coming forward, time ticking away. What can they produce here? A chance for Anderson from the edge of the area, shoots deflected, and it just bobbles up kindly for George Long.
And you see what they're trying to do. Blackpool trying to move the ball quickly around the edge of the box, get those shots off early, but Millwall, they're in good defensive shape and able to get the blocks in and just slow the pace on the ball down.
Yeah, it's going to take something special, you feel, to get Blackpool back in this one. And the ball played forward by Millwall. 9 minutes remaining here. Blackpool with Yates leaves it now, and a chance to move the ball forward for Holmes. Gets it away to Rodgers on this near side. Look for the crossfield switch, didn't quite get enough of it. Patino will try and work it out wide on the left. Headed forward by Hamilton. Picked up at the back by Millwall. Won back initially by Blackpool, but they can't make anything of it. But they've won the ball back on their left-hand side, Blackpool. Well, they've got to go all out. They need at least one. A draw wouldn't necessarily see them down, but they would need huge favours from elsewhere. Ball going to be whipped in from the right. Good ball in as well, but not for the first time. Cooper wins the header. Bradshaw did well. If he could have found Watmore, the break was on there. It's headed back towards the Millwall area, and it's cleared away. You're live on Talksport 2. Mark Wilson, Courtney Sweetman, Kirk, Dan Windle with you. 7.5 minutes remaining. Blackpool 2, Millwall 3. Millwall going into the top 6, and the pressure cranking up on Coventry, Sunderland, Blackburn, West Brom, Preston. So much at stake. As Patino picks the ball up, Mitchell's all over him and concedes a free kick. Taken quickly, Anderson has it. Anderson just had to wait for the referee to get out of his way there. Ball working its way forward. Gabriel's off on a run down the right-hand side. He's got past Bradshaw. Just looks a bit heavy leg there, Bradshaw. He has tracked him all the way back. Here now is Bowler, edge of the area. Bowler looking for the give and go. Patino needed to be quick. He was caught there, and the referee's going to give a free kick. There was contact from Watmore, and I don't think he actually wanted to go down Patino. I think he just lost his feet, didn't he?
Yeah, I think, to be honest, I think it's soft from some of the challenges we've seen let go tonight. There is contact, but I think more than anything, it's Patino losing his footing.
Free kick. Patino level with the right edge of the area. It's probably about 25 yards out as CJ Hamilton is making way. Another change here. CJ Hamilton goes off, and it's Marvin Ekpiteta that comes on. Now, I wonder if Marvin Ekpiteta's going to go play at centre forward here. He's a central defender by trade. I think they're going to stick him up there, aren't they now? This is the last roll of the dice, isn't it?
I think they'll get him up there for the height, try and win the first balls and try and feed off the seconds.
Right, Pateta has been out injured. He's back in the mix. Can he get on the end of this Patino free kick? Ball now floated in towards the far post, headed down. Oh, the referee's blown the whistle. Much to the delight of the Millwall fans around us, and it's another 30 seconds or so that will be eaten off the clock. Game day live tomorrow. Palace West Ham live and exclusive on Talksport 12:30. Rashmid Chowdhury, Clive Tilsley and the former England man Stuart Pearce, our commentary team for that one. Then game day live. All the goals as they go in with Adrian Durham. He's live at Plymouth's home park. Will they be coming into the Championship next season? You'd not be betting against that at the moment. All the goals as they go in. Here on Talksport 2, we've got live commentary exclusively live of Brighton against Wolves as Brighton look to try and close in on a European spot. More changes for Millwall, a couple of them incoming as well, as Tom Bradshaw makes way. He'll get a standing ovation here. 2 goals for him tonight, and 2 goals that could crucially fire Millwall in to the top 6. How would you assess his performance as a fellow centre forward?
Oh, he's been absolutely excellent. He's shown every side of his game. Yes, he looked leggy just now down to our right, but he's tracking back. He's scored 2 goals. He's been in the thick of everything. Defending from corners as well. It is one headers. In defending for his team, he's done absolutely everything tonight.
Yeah. Just looking. Watmore was one that made way, and now we're getting another change. Ian Fleming has gone off. Let's see who the third change was coming on. Is it Virgilsammer who's come on? We'll confirm that in a moment. So 3 on, 3 off for Gary Rowett. What they have, they hold. 4 minutes to go. The ball out over on the far side.
Looks like it's Mason Bennett.
Is it Bennett that's come on? My apologies. So Mason Bennett into the action. So Bennett, Burke and Bury are the 3 that come on. And he's refreshed it up top, hasn't he, really? He wants them to put pressure on and keep Blackpool as far away from his goal as he can. And there might be a chance here. Straight into the action is Bennett. Going down that far side, he tried to find Burke and couldn't find him. Ball with Keshi Anderson. Blackpool are running out of time. They're coming forward. They've just got to commit bodies forward now. As many of them as they can. Ball play forward. Pateta has come on as a centre half. I'm really surprised about that. I guess it's a bit of a reshuffle from Dobby. Here now is Gabriel coming down this near side. He's beaten 1. Can he beat 2? He slides in. Ooh, that was a strong challenge. That was a strong challenge. And again, well, I think he's actually come off worse in that one. But again, given some of the yellow cards we've seen tonight, Courtney, that surprises me that didn't warrant a caution. But I think he's in a bit of trouble here, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. I think it is the way that he slid in. Don't get me wrong, he does get some of the ball, but undoubtedly it is a foul. But he's really struggling with that right knee.
He's in trouble here, isn't he? He is in big bother here. He's hobbled off. And I just wonder if the Millwall player's fallen on his knee or something, maybe.
Potentially. He really doesn't look comfortable at all.
No, and he signalled to the official. He said to the linesman, "I'm done. I'm done. I've got to go off." So he said, "Do I go off the field or do I sit down?" And the officials have told him to sit down. Look, they don't want to waste time. They're coming over to him, the Blackpool players, but I think he's in a world of trouble here, Jordan Gabriel. And now, even his teammates are saying, look, we need to get someone on here. The medics are coming on, and this could be a sad end to his night, I think. And hopefully it's nothing too serious. But given the magnitude of what's going on, if he could carry on, he would carry on, wouldn't he?
Oh, yeah, 100%. I think, as a player, the severity of the injury in the back of your own head, and the way that he stopped immediately. He was down on the floor. He barely wanted to put any weight on that right leg, and the way he's clutching the side of his knee, it really doesn't look good at all.
No, I think that is a big problem. So we've got 2 minutes. There's going to at least 5, I would imagine, still to come here. You're live on Talksport 2 tonight. So much football to come over the weekend. You'll hear it all live right here on Talksport 2 and Talksport. If you got the app, great, you'll not miss any of the action. You can swipe left and right between the two. You can, of course, listen on your smart speaker on good old-fashioned DAB as well. Oh, I'm getting old, that when I say good old-fashioned DAB. He's still down, Gabriel. This is sad. This is a sad end. It's been a really entertaining game, and you don't want to see anybody getting injured, but just the reaction to it, his reaction to it, says that there's something in this, and this could be a sad end to his season.
Yeah, he's crying by the look of it. He's got his head in his shirt, and I think he's in that much pain. They've barely actually assessed his knee, the physios and the medics, the doctors that are on.
Well, he did. We said he lunged into the challenge, didn't he? He put himself at risk. And he is, well, the stretcher's coming on, and you never want to see this. The trouble is, he's right on the far side of the field compared to where the dressing rooms are, so he's probably going to have to go off on a stretcher. Don't forget, coming up tonight as well, more live PGA Tour golf, the round 2 of the Mexico Open to come here. The tale, if you've just joined us, what a night of drama. Tom Bradshaw put Millwall in front inside 2 minutes. The equaliser came from Jerry Yates, courtesy of a penalty on 36. That was 1-1. at the break, coming out of the break. Tom Bradshaw, another exquisite finish in one-on-one. Just a deft little chip over the advancing goalkeeper, put Millwall back in front. Luis Fiorini, though, struck from fully 25 yards out to make it 2-2 and give Blackpool real hope. And we've got 9 added on minutes here, and Zian Fleming then from the spot after he was bundled over in the area made it 3-2, but 9 added on minutes. That just gives everyone a little bit of hope. It's going to be actually, in effect, we've not even gone into the 9 minutes yet, because sadly Jon Gabriel is down injured at the moment, and he's injured himself busting a gut for his team, hasn't he? He's trying to win a ball probably he's got no right to win, and he's come up on the wrong end of it, and it's such a sad sight here.
So a real shame, but as you say, the intent was just to try and win the ball back. He'd been on a run down that right hand side trying to cross the ball in, loses out, and he's just trying to win the ball back for his team, lands awkwardly. And as you say, there's the 9 minutes that we're not even into yet, so still a fair amount of time for Blackpool to try and get back in this once this is all sorted.
Well, we've had a roller coaster here. 3-2. It was 3-2 in the Women's Super League earlier on as well. Aston Villa women denied by a late winner. Yet Manchester United 3-2 winners over Villa in that one. Bank Holiday Monday. What a mix of football we've got for you. Rotherham fighting for survival, take on Middlesbrough in the playoffs. That is live from 1, exclusively on Talksport 2. Jim Proudfoot and the former Arsenal man Adrian Clark, our commentary team. Then we're off to the Emirates. Arsenal take on Wolfsburg in the Women's Champions League semi-final second leg. Joe Shannon will be alongside Courtney Sweetman-Kirk for that one. And then one of the games of the season in the Premier League. The only place you'll hear it, 8 o'clock Monday night. Leicester against Everton. 2 teams fighting for their Premier League survival. One, if not both, in real danger of getting relegated. It's live and exclusive on Talksport. Adrian Durham is with Sam Matterface and the former England man Danny Murphy. If you're a regular Talksport listener, you know that is our Monday night team. Adrian, Sam and Danny live at the King Power. Leicester against Everton. What a game that should be. Cornell was at Goodison last night. Newcastle absolutely battered Everton last night. Their confidence has got to be low going into that one.
Yeah, and I've watched Leicester in the last few weeks. I watched the loss against Bournemouth, and I think they've improved under Dean Smith. Watched them win against Wolves as well, and the draw against Leeds. It's really all to fight for down at the bottom.
Gabriel is leaving on a stretcher, gets an ovation. Such a sad way for his season to end, and we hope it's nothing too long term, but the initial thought is it looks quite serious. Just rather sporting there, the 2 Millwall centre halves who've been at it all night, just applauded him as he went past on the stretcher. They know there was nothing malicious in that tackle. It was just one of those things that happen in football, that happen in sport. And players sadly do get injured. Our thoughts are with him. Hopefully he'll be back sooner rather than later. Jordan Gabriel, his night is done. So we're into 9 added on minutes, and we start those 9 added on minutes on 48 minutes. So it's a late one tonight. The golf will have to wait for a few moments. Is there one more twist in the Blackpool roller coaster? Ball forward. Millwall would love a goal, wouldn't they, to wrap this up. Ekpateta ducks underneath it, goes all the way through for a goal kick. Blackpool 2, Millwall 3. Just going back to that Leicester-Everton game, Courtney, both in the bottom 3.
Yeah, it's amazing to think, isn't it? Everton with such a rich history, never been relegated from the Premier League, and just a few seasons ago, Leicester Premier League champions.
Yeah, they were indeed. I saw you counting there. Are we assuming now that Blackpool are down to 10?
Yes.
So they are up against it. They've lost a player here, and they are down to 10. Ball flicked onto Bowler, thumped away. Anywhere will do, says Scott Malone. Get it as far away from this Millwall goal as we can. Patino picks it up. Blackpool up against it here. It seems strange to think that a side we've seen and heard on Talksport 2 put 4 past local rivals Preston here, as that's a foul. And again, I think the referee's taking leniency here on Blackpool. That should have been a yellow card against Patino.
Yeah, and it was always going to be a struggle to get back into this game, especially now with the player light on the pitch.
Millwall will feel that they're in with a good chance. I'm just looking at the potential fixture list to come next weekend, and if Millwall can beat Blackburn, then that is going to really pile the pressure on those around them, isn't it? In terms of needing victories to keep them out of the mix. Ball now works its way forward, but Blackpool could put a dent in Millwall's playoff hopes with an equaliser here. Bowler tries to work into the area. Malone takes it away from him and then wins the throw in. Malone, that was good defending.
Millwall, I think they've got a good chance of beating Blackburn as well. I think Blackburn at times are one of those teams you're not quite sure what you'll get from them. They can put in some fantastic performances, and other times they don't quite look like the same team. Yeah,
well, just looking at the games, Blackburn have got to play Luton, so that's two teams in and around the playoffs. Middlesbrough have got to play Coventry, so somewhere someone is losing points in that playoff race.
Luton are on a fantastic run at the moment. I think it was 13 unbeaten when they beat Middlesbrough.
Yeah, it was. Those two could yet meet again in the playoff. Well, it would be the final, wouldn't it? Because they are guaranteed third or fourth now. There's the ball over on the far side. Blackpool wanted it out of play. It's not out of play. Now Millwall are coming forward. Can they get a fourth goal to wrap things up as they look to break here now? Ball played into the path of Mason Bennett. He's over on the far side. He's bundled over. And that'll be a free kick. The ball booted away in frustration. And that will certainly be a yellow card over on that far side.
Quite interesting as well, you're seeing that free kick being celebrated quite heavily. A lot more normally than winning a free kick in that area is being celebrated. They know it just brings them that step closer to the playoffs.
Well, it was Morgan Rogers who was booked. And the ironic thing there is he's hit it against the board at the side and it's bounced back to where he kicked it from. So he's being booked more for the action rather than the consequences of it. It's not like he's putting it out of the ground, is it?
The descent, I would imagine, rather than the actual, as you say, the action about it.
Well, we've had 7 minutes of added on time, but we've got a minimum of 9. However, we didn't play for the first 3 of those, so there is still time here. If you just tuned in and wondering why on earth they're still playing at Bloomfield Road, we had a serious injury there, sadly, to Jordan Gabriel. Blackpool 2, Millwall 3. Millwall, as it stands, are going 5th. Their goal difference not the best with the teams around them. Another goal wouldn't do them any harm here. Although they're not, obviously, for obvious reasons, not going to go chasing one. But you just wonder if Blackpool might just put everyone forward and there might be a chance to nick one. It could come down to, could even come down to goals scored, really, at the end of the season. That's how tight it is here. Blackpool equaliser would certainly raise the morale of Coventry, Sunderland, Blackburn and West Brom supporters. Ball on halfway, Ekpiteta was biting away. Here now the ball played forward. If Malone's onside, he's not. He just went half a yard too soon. And that is a free kick for Blackpool. Just looking at the Millwall fans, they're all starting to make their way down to the front. Not too many of the seats around us are full at the moment. The fans are all down at the front. This is a big night for Millwall, who've been wobbling. 1 win in 7 coming here tonight. As Blackpool are told to go back and take the free kick from nearer the touchline side. Time ticks away. Blackpool don't just need an equaliser, they need 2 goals now. We're into the 9th minute of added on time. Still a few to add on as Grimshaw slips as he kicks it forward. It's headed into the area though, headed away, edge of the area by Saville, and that will do Millwall. They're in no rush to go anywhere at the moment. Blackpool going back to the Championship. It's going to be a 2-year stay. They're going back to League One. It's going to be a 2-year stay in the Championship for them. Ball into the edge of the area, headed away. Millwall, if they get the sums right here, have got 3 on 2. Can they get onto the end of it? They're racing forward here. It's Tyler Burry into the area to wrap things up. Goes across goal, pulled back at the far post. Still a chance here. Bennett waits for the pullback. He finds his way to Malone. Was that handled? No, it wasn't. Millwall with a real opportunity to get a 4th and wrap it up, but they missed the opportunity. Still 3-2.
It's a fantastic run, isn't it, by Burry? And you think he's just going to slot it in that bottom right-hand corner, but he just drags it. I think it's Oliver Burke on that right-hand side does so well to keep it in, but Millwall can't make anything of it.
Ball played forward on this near side. Blackpool almost down and out as Bowler has a wrestle there, and he needs to be careful here. He might be talking himself into a booking. Temperatures boiling over and the Curtis Nelson, the Blackpool captain, just says leave it. Don't get yourself sent off now. Millwall down on the floor, eking another few seconds off the clock. And they are, as it stands, going 5th. What a day tomorrow will be in the EFL. What a weekend next weekend. Final round of games in the Championship, in League 1, in League 2. We'll be at all the key games. Rest assured about that. You'll not miss any of it on the Talksport network. Make sure you've got that app downloaded. You can take us with us wherever you are, because there's going to be so many twists and turns to come, and that's before the playoffs even start. Ball forward for Millwall. 3 times they've put themselves in front. The 3rd time they've managed to stay in front. Ball played forward. Bennett's going to give chase here, just trying to hassle Blackpool, and Blackpool have conceded a corner. Bennett did really well there, and this is going to eat yet more time. And Blackpool, I think the realisation has sunk in that they are going back to League 1.
Yeah, it is. There's fans leaving the stadium. The atmosphere, as you'd imagine, is very sombre.
Ball's out for a goal kick. Now they'll come forward again. Blackpool, on a night they had to win, twice they equalised. Once from the spot, once from 25 yards, but they couldn't keep the ball out of their own net. Can they muster up a 3rd equaliser that probably will have more impact on Millwall's season than it will their own? Here's Keshi Anderson, wide on the near side. Coutinho has it. Looks to work down, his legs just gave out underneath him. Frustration for the youngster. It's not been for a lack of trying, has it, for Blackpool?
No, it's not. They've shown that desire, that effort. But for me, just conceded goals far too easily.
They have. The referee looks at his watch. Seconds of the added on time. We've had 57 minutes here. Bennett, if he looks up, has got a pass inside. He's got no interest in passing it. The ball's going behind for a corner. The referee again looks at his watch. Is he about to blow time on Blackpool stay in the Championship? Millwall are going into the top 6 to put the pressure on all those around them. We'll find out over the weekend what happens. The referee blows his whistle, and that's it. The cheers are from Millwall. 1 win in 7 becomes 2 wins in 8, and a win next weekend will surely see them into the top 6 and the end of season playoffs. For Blackpool, their players slump to the floor. The fans stay and applaud. It's been a heroic effort, but they give themselves too much to do. 2 wins in their last 3 gave them an outside chance, but they needed 3 points tonight, and they could not get them. Bradshaw's early goal put them on the back foot, but when Yates equalised just before the break, hopes were high for Blackpool, but Bradshaw's second on the hour mark, a lovely finish, put Millwall back in front. Lewis Fiorini with a goal of the game, a 25-yard pile driver in the bottom corner made it 2-2. But once again, Millwall went down the other end and scored. Fleming brought down, made no mistake from the spot, and truth be told, from there on in, Millwall were in control and wrap up the points. So Millwall put the pressure on those around them in the top half of the Championship. For Blackpool, all eyes are on League 1. Their stay in the Championship is over. Millwall fans are pumped up. Will they be in the playoffs next week? We'll find out across the Talksport network from Broomfield Road tonight. It's ended. Heartbreak for Blackpool. It's Blackpool 2, Millwall 3.
This a Bloomfield Road defeat that all but relegates Blackpool. Mathematically, looked at this a lot. Not down yet, but the miracle they need, well, it's never going to happen. They'll be likely dropping through the trapdoor by the end of this weekend officially. Sky reporting they're relegated. Blackpool's own Twitter page saying that they are relegated. Millwall move into 5th, the playoffs, the only place you can catch every kick live. Here on the Talksport network, will Millwall make it? Courtney Sweetman-Kirk, some evening's entertainment. This game, you can go from being a hero, fast become a villain. Lewis Fiorini scoring a beauty, not long later, lunging in on Zion Fleming. Fleming dusting himself down, slotting home the biggest goal of Millwall's season.
Oh yeah, it was absolutely huge, and Zion Fleming had a lot to think about. There was a fair amount of time between the penalty being awarded and taking it. Grimshaw, as all keepers do, doing his best to put him off, but he slotted it expertly, and it was in that bottom right hand corner, and it had to be in that corner. Grimshaw guessed the right way, so it had to be a good penalty, which it was. And I think on balance, Millwall were good value for that win. Blackpool gave up a fight at times, especially in the second half. I think actually Millwall scored initially against the run of play in that second half, but you've got to give credit to Millwall. They dug in really deep. The two players that we were speaking about before the game, Bradshaw and Zion Fleming, yet again they're stepping up and pulling their team into the playoffs as it stands.
Blackpool will be relegated this weekend, all too late in recent weeks under Stephen Dobbie.
Yeah, it's a shame because, don't get me wrong, in the first half, the first 35 minutes, I would say, before the penalty, they were poor, and in all honesty, Millwall should have been 2-3 up. But, when they got the penalty and towards the end of the first half, I thought they perked up, played really well. Again, started the second half really well, but at times just a lack of quality, decision-making. And it's Fririni, I suppose that's just youth as well that we've potentially got to look at. But a fantastic strike for the goal, and then just needlessly, I would say, lunges in. There's bodies around him, there's defenders around him, and a little bit of a rush of blood to the head.
Blackpool relegated. Confirmation that Blackpool are relegated to League One. It hurts, Courtney. It hurts for the Seasiders.
Yeah, it will for the players, it will for the fans. I want to say, look, the fans were fantastic tonight. They really got behind their side. I really would, like to say that. But I think on balance, we're talking about across the season. I think Stephen Dobbie's done a good job since he's come in, but on balance across the season, they were broken down too easily. They conceded too many goals. I think Tam Bradshaw's second goal, you see that in terms of it was a fantastic finish, but the defending all over the shop, the defensive line was terrible. So, that's what you've got to look at on balance across the season. They just didn't do enough.
Millwall up to 5th tonight in the Championship. A brace for Bradshaw. That penalty from Zion Fleming. Gary Rowett's side. Courtney will finish with this, back in it. Up to 5th. Final day to come in the Championship. We'll bring you comprehensive coverage on the Talksport network. Gary Rowett wanted his side to leave everything out there totally They certainly did that for him, didn't they?
Oh yeah, they were absolutely brilliant, and I think I was impressed as well with the forward line that came on. The game was stretched. I totally appreciate that, but when they came on, they did great things. Oliver Burke, Tyson Bury, especially down that left-hand side, that sort of last opportunity that they got went really close. So, look, you get to this stage of the season, you get to the playoffs, you know full well that you're going to have to use absolutely everyone within the squad, and they've had to do that tonight.
Blackpool's 2-year stay in the Championship is over. Blackpool relegated tonight after defeat against Millwall. Mark Wilson alongside Courtney Stewart and Kirk. Guys, top work as always. Thank you for your excellent company over the last few hours here on your home of the EFL Talksport 2. Got the spreadsheet out, did all the numbers, saw all the results, worked it out eventually. Blackpool relegated to League One tonight here on your home of the EFL Talksport 2. Millwall moved back into the top 6, into 5th. So much action still to come across the weekend. We bring an awful lot of it to you here on your home of the EFL Talksport 2. We appreciate your company.